Plus, get up to 60% off select patio furniture and accessories for your outdoor spaces. So hurry into your local store today because these deals are too good to last. Shop them now before they're gone because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 8/7 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. You're listening to the home of Jim Rome, Rich Eisen, and DK on the Sports Tip. This is Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
From the what?
Central Northwest Tucson. Duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
And Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but three first names, David Scott Kelly.
A great Wednesday afternoon to you. Hump Day. Mid-July. Countdown to August. Countdown to the start of another athletic year at the University of Arizona. It is getting so much closer. I mentioned yesterday was my wedding anniversary. 14 years married to the beautiful Kathy. Had a lovely dinner at home. We didn't do anything dramatic last night. Just kind of, we were in Las Vegas last week. We're going to be jetting off to see my dad in Philadelphia next week. And so we decided just to stay home, cook some dinner at home, reminisce on our 14 years together, and just enjoy each other's company. So we did that. Today is another anniversary. July 17th, 2008. I used to have 3 anniversaries in a row. July 16th, 17th, and 18th. July 16th represented the anniversary of the day that I got married. If I'm lucky enough to get another 21 years or let's start at number 11, another 11 years to get to 25 with my lovely wife. That would be great. And then July 17th, 2008 represents the day that I pulled up into Tucson, Arizona after a long trek from Memphis, Tennessee to begin my life again in the West. So 16 years today in the city of Tucson as a resident. So glad to be here with you over the course of these last 16 years. It's the longest I have ever lived in one place. It is now officially home for sure. I think the other longest was the 11 years combined of my life that I lived. Well, actually, I lived probably combined 14 years of my life in Cleveland, but not all 14 at the same time. But 16 years now here in the great city of Tucson, Arizona. So glad to be here. And then the other anniversary doesn't really exist anymore, but it was July 18th, 2011 was the day that I started in television. And so that was my TV anniversary until I made the decision to stop doing that, to come back over here to my first love, which was the radio side of things, and begin talking to you every day as we have done now for the last year plus here at Wildcats Radio 1290. So three still pretty important days because I did do that for 12 years of my life. So July 17th, 16 years here in Southern Arizona. Among us, there's still a lot of things that I have not done. I got to the rodeo this year for the first time.
You got your first hat too,
yeah,
right?
I got my first hat. Shout out to our guy Pork Chop for sporting me my first hat for my initial rodeo appearance. Took me pretty close to 16 years to get that accomplished, but we got that accomplished. Now I'm wondering, I'm like, what else have I not done down here that is uniquely Southern Arizona?
Should we go down the list? Should we go down the list?
Should we? Do you have it over there? Do you have?
I
a
mean,
list
it's
of
right in my head.
of
I'm a
me of
native,
things that
so
I have
I
not
could probably
done?
point out some stuff.
I've been to what's the old church Saint Javier's.
Yep.
I've been down. I've done that a number of times. Down the I-17 on your way towards Nogales and the border. So I've stopped and done that a number of times. Kind of something that we do when folks come to town. I've done the Missile Museum twice. I like that. I'm all about that kind of stuff. Like
Hughes missiles.
Yeah. I loved. I think they let me actually sit in the chair the last time we went, and I got to turn the key and start the.
Did you ever hear that story of how that happened?
I'm not sure.
Well, way long ago, there were some issues when they were determining where to put this kind of thing, and
Right.
and there was a couple of incidents, and at the time they came to the conclusion that anything within 50 miles of a beach was probably not a good idea. And so, yeah, the reason why Hughes Missiles initially was in Tucson was because they were required to be a certain distance from any boat that might be able to attack it. So,
I see.
yeah.
I see. Well, aren't we the lucky ones that I would have loved to have lived here during that time period when that was all active and things were happening, and and knowing that the missiles were just that close if they ever needed to be, if that key, that the call ever came in from the White House and that key needed to be turned, that was happening right down the street from where you live. So I've done the missile silo. I've been out to the Ostrich Ranch, if that's uniquely Southern Arizona.
Well, do you know what else is unique about that place?
What's that?
Picacho.
Yeah.
Picacho is the westernmost battle in the Civil War. So the westernmost.
Is that right?
Yeah, the westernmost battle that ever took place in the Civil War was at Picacho Peak. Yeah.
Okay, I did not know that.
Yep.
See, I got a history lesson today from J-Dub.
How about,
J-Dub? He's a botanist. He's an arborist. He's a history teacher.
I just like learning. That's all.
He's got
How
a
about
lot of.
Colossal Cave?
We've done Colossal Cave. Yes, I've done Colossal Cave. It's hilarious. Sometimes we every time I go to a cave or something that's supposed to be a cave, it's always almost like I feel like I'm just going down some steps in somebody's basement. Like I want to go to I want to go like in a real cave, like something that's like actually like deep, but not necessarily too deep that I might get sick or anything like that.
There's a lot around here.
I've been to Colossal Cave. I've been to Mount Lemmon. The one thing I have not done that we still have on our list is Kitt Peak.
Yeah.
I've not done Kitt Peak, and I would love, because I'm all about the stars and astronomy and all of that kind of thing. So I'd like to get up to Kitt Peak and do that as well. I've done Old Tucson, of course. We've done that. I'm trying to think of what else is there that would be uniquely. Well, I mean, as our guy Pat Paris has coined over at K-Gun 9, absolutely Arizona.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of cuisine involved in that. Like some would say in the last 20 years that you can't come to Tucson without trying a Sonoran dog, but that wasn't a thing when I was a kid, right? Like people may not know that, but Sonoran dogs weren't a thing growing up.
Was EG's a thing when you were growing
EG's was
up?
always a thing.
Okay.
EG's was started by some U of A students, I want to say in like 75, 76, that era. So when I was born and growing up in Tucson, EG's had a big foothold for sure. I mean, again, it's really dependent upon I think a lot of people just, Saguaro National Park is a big part of Tucson in general, because if you're coming here from any part of the world, DK, that's not Eastern California or Southern Arizona or Northern Sonora, Mexico, you don't know what saguaros are. You've never been to a place that has them. So that's a big draw for Tucson. But having been here 14, you said? 16 years.
16 years.
That's like day one. Yeah, it just really depends. I think you've checked off most off the list. I'd be curious if any callers have any suggestions as to things you might add to our list of must-do in Tucson.
520-848-1290 is the number to add to that list. 520-848-1290. Is there something that I have not done that you think that I should do? I've been down to Sonoita. I've been down to those wineries. I've not been down to the rodeo, though, at Sonoita. I've not done that rodeo down there.
I told Paige when she moved out here that she could adopt Southern Arizona as her home, but she wouldn't be a Tucsonan until she fell into a cactus.
I have not fallen into a cactus. That is one thing that I have not done. I've not fallen into a cactus. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program if you want to suggest something that I should do that I haven't done. I actually have not. You mentioned Sonoran dogs, J-Dub. I have not eaten a Sonoran dog just because, again, you know how I am. I'm very picky when it comes to my food, and I'm not. I'll eat hot dogs. I'm not a big fan of hot dogs anymore. And I definitely don't want, like, funky stuff on my hot dog.
I'll tell you the best part about a Sonoran dog is not any of the toppings.
Because they put, is it mayonnaise?
Yeah, but none of that's the best part.
No, I don't
the
like
The best part of a Sonoran dog by far is the receptacle that the dog comes in. It's like a burrilla or something like that. I can't remember the name of it, but the particular bun that they use for it, it's just really soft and buttery. It's if you could make every hot dog with that, then that would be my suggestion. I think Fuddruckers, are you familiar?
Yes.
They, back when they first opened up in the 80s or whatever, they used to have a very similar, like, homemade, buttery, big, like, twice as wide as it probably should be for a hot dog bun. Yeah, that's the best part, in my opinion, about Sonoran dog.
All right, let's talk to Chuck. You are on DK on the Sports Tip, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Yeah, I was just happened to listen in and heard you talking about the Titan II missile site.
Yes.
Yes, I spent many a night down there as a Titan II crew commander.
Is that right?
You bet I did. Many, many a night. Yep, indeed.
What was that like? What was the time period, and what was that like?
Well, I went became a deputy crew commander in 1967 at McConnell Air Force Base in Wichita, Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
And then I became I was considered one of the youngest ever deputy crew commanders to upgrade to commander position in the Air Force at that time.
So now, what was your role? So what did you do there every night when you would go?
Well, my role, it wasn't just me. I was, as a commander, I was in command of 3 other guys. There were 4 people on the Titan II crew.
Okay.
There was a commander, a deputy, and then there were 2 enlisted people. One was a ballistic missile analyst technician. He was responsible basically for all the electronics and the guidance system on board the missile itself. And then there was what they called the missile facilities technician. He was responsible for all the hydraulic systems and all the mechanical systems in the site itself. But what's intriguing about that system is that technology was developed in the 50s. In the 50s when they developed it, and I think even you've seen it. I think it rivals anything we have today. In the control center, what's amazing about that is all the levels. I shouldn't say all the levels. Level 2, where you walk in and see the commander's console, and that is mounted on springs.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they explained that. Yeah.
And not only in the control center, but out in the launch duct itself, everything, all the essential equipment they need to launch that missile is also mounted on springs. So if there's a nuclear blast close by, the shock will be absorbed by those springs and won't damage the equipment, as well as the missiles. It's on its own springs too. So it's just amazing old system, and it was an awesome system in regards to the power that missile could deliver. It was just unbelievable. One of those, just one Titan II getting through to, let's say Moscow, just as an example, probably more than 3/4 of that city would be gone. Yep, just one. So I remember when I took over as commander, the first with my new crew, went out to that site, I just kept thinking to myself, oh my gosh, I'm responsible for that now. That's my, if the message comes through it's up to me to make sure my crew doesn't panic and I do the job right.
You know, Chuck, I think every single person who's walked this planet in the last 50 years have thought to themselves, what would it be like to be in that seat with that kind of, not that you're making decisions, but with that kind of, context hanging over you. And now that you've said firsthand what it's like to feel, it's just an amazing. I mean, I think, DK, I don't know, growing up here in Tucson, knowing about Hughes and knowing about Raytheon now, and about how the Boneyard, was one of the top targets. Like we grew up here in Tucson, knowing that although it was a sleepy town in the middle of the desert, there was a lot to do with the Cold War here at the time.
Oh yeah, you bet. And another thing, what was amazing, even before I got on a crew, they took me out to a site before I'd started my upgrading process, and the crew took me out to the launch duct where the missile is located. Took me up on the second deck, and I walked out into the launch duct, and I looked down, and I saw it. And I saw that warhead staring me in the face, and I said, "What did I get myself into?" I actually started shaking. I really started shaking. It was just that awesome to me. That awesome.
Wow.
So I was just glad to hear you say that. So. That's why I'm calling.
I think it's one of the better things to do here in Southern Arizona because it's such a part of the history of this country and the things that we went through. And how long did you do that, Chuck? How long were you in those roles?
Well, I actually was on the crew for 6 years.
Okay,
6 years. Yeah. You had, in a Titan II system, you have what they call line crews.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the ones that go out every day and blah, blah, blah. And then you have instructor crews that teach the new recruits that upgrade into the system, teach them how to do, and they also teach and keep on teaching those that are already on the crew. And then you have what they call the standboard crew. They're the ones that every year, every 6 months actually, but first, you have to get a standboard, which in the evaluation is make sure you can do the job. And if you can't do the job, they'll flunk you. So then you got to start all over. Oh yeah, it's very serious. Oh yeah.
Were you allowed to talk about any of that with your family? Like, could you tell them about your job, or was it kind of like I could talk
to my family about my job, but I couldn't talk to them about a lot of things. Just you weren't allowed to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
It was something because it was a job that was entailed hours and hours of boredom, followed by minutes of panic. Let me just say that, okay?
Yeah.
Minutes. Yeah, there were nights. Yep, it was. Yep. I had to wake up the crew and say, "Look, we got a big problem."
Wow.
Anyway, yep. It was
awesome.
scary at times.
Well, hey, Chuck, we appreciate your service to our country, and thank you for that awesome story and giving us an inside view of what it was like to be one of those people working over there at the Titan II.
Okay, good enough. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Chuck, a guy that did the work here for the United States of America. Great stuff there. 520-848-1290. If you want to get in on the program, you know who's getting in on the program right now? Cricket, as she does every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Collisions Ina and Shannon, Shannon and Ina, Sarita Road and Rancho Sarita Boulevard. Collision reported westbound I-10 west of Tangerine, and then another wreck reported westbound I-10 approaching State Route 83. And for your weather, there's a 15% chance of showers today and 103 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by WhatsApp. Me and the kids were always messaging. They LOL'd, I ROFL'd, but then I changed phone and the bubbles went green. But where there's a fill, there's a way. And I found a way to share what's in here. I'm tapping my heart.
WhatsApp, the place to safely send messages between different devices. Message privately with everyone. Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call
What
Optima
up,
Tax
Tucson?
Relief,
This is
the
Joseph
number
Blair,
one tax
former
relief.
Wildcat and assistant coach of the Washington Wizards. When I came to play basketball at the U of A in the 90s, the Tucson community became and has always remained a special part of my life. And this is why I proudly joined the Meridian Wealth Management Tucson Advisory Business Council. If you have financial questions or concerns, please be sure and call my friends Natalie or Ruben Fernandez at 719-1433 or visit online at Meridian Wealth LLC. And as always, bear down, Tucson.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
You know, a lot of times you have to choose between something high quality or something that saves you money. But if you could get both, why not? Especially when it comes to health care. And that is MediShare. You get both. Many families save $500 a month with MediShare, and that's huge. But it's also true that people wind up way more satisfied, too. The member satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. That's because MediShare works. It has for more than 30 years. It's a community of Christians who have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth. They love the huge PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price in 2 minutes. Here's the number. Just call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE, 855-51-BIBLE.
It's kickoff time, and Believe podcasts are here to get you ready for the season.
He wanted to change the culture, and he wanted me to be a part of that.
With Believe, you get immediate reactions, game previews, and expert analysis from all 32 teams, plus all of your favorite college teams.
He's just rare in just about everything he does.
Sideline to sideline, end zone to end zone.
This was good for everybody.
Just search Believe. That's BLEAV podcast, wherever you listen.
Kathleen Wynne is running for Congress because Juan Ciscomani is too weak, too woke, and too afraid to defend our values and fight for us. Ciscomani claims to be pro-Trump, but won't even be in Milwaukee this week because Ciscomani's worried more what Democrats think of him than what you think. And it only gets worse. Ciscomani gave Biden $4 trillion in new debt to fund his woke far-left agenda, including money for Ukraine, Planned Parenthood, and sex change operations on minors. And last week, Ciscomani was MIA on defunding Jack Smith, and it failed by one vote, Ciscomani's vote. Kathleen Wynne stands with President Trump to secure our border, fight for taxpayers, and stop the deep state. Kathleen Wynne for Congress. It's time for a change from Rhino Juan Ciscomani. Time for a conservative change.
I'm Kathleen Wynne, and I approve this ad, paid for by Win for Arizona.
This is Jim Rome with your Rome Report. So here's what I don't want to do today. I do not want to be complaining and railing against the All-Star game. Would it be really easy? Yes. Is this the game that it used to be? Of course not. But you know me. I'm looking for the positive in anything and everything. As an example, Paul Skeens. This dude's absolutely incredible. Lived up to all the hype last night and could not have looked more dominant and comfortable. And how about Shohei? Not that it should be surprising to anybody at all that that guy turned one around about 900 feet. But what an awesome moment that was. And while we're here, let's put some respect on Jaren Duran. He had a no-doubt bomb, and he ripped the MVP. Absolutely love somebody from right down the road from here representing Orange County, California. You see, it would have been easy to kill that game, but that's not what I did.
O'Reilly. You've got questions? O'Reilly Auto Parts has answers. Need a pro you can trust? We've got that too. No matter what you need, our professional parts people have the training and expertise to help you do things right. Deep automotive knowledge. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Former CIA officer Jason Hansen here. As someone who's dedicated my life to protecting people, I know the importance of guarding what matters most. And right now, with the global instability, that means securing your financial assets with gold. For me, I trust Advantage Gold with my own investments. Call them right now at 800-900-GOLD for a 100% free gold guide. And mention my name, and you'll also receive a complimentary $1,300 gift. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-GOLD right now.
Paid for by Advantage Gold. Performance may vary. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Always consult your financial and tax professional.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. G-Dub, I don't know if you saw this yesterday, but the Arizona University, among the things, the academic year begins on July the 1st.
Yeah.
So we're about 16 days in. One of the things that quietly went under the radar was the dropping of Arizona.
I never once, because I grew up here, so that's a preface for this statement, but I've never once written Arizona ever. I never embraced that. I stopped writing U of A because I understood the wishes under, 2-3 years?
Right.
How long ago did that happen? I mean, it wasn't long ago. But never once have I written Arizona in print ever. Yeah. I stopped writing U of A a lot. I would just put UA.
Yeah.
But I just think
apparently they don't want us to do that though anymore. I write UA.
It's so dumb
on all of our stuff.
It's so dumb for one simple reason, DK. Branding. This is coming from a person who spent 20 years in advertising art. Branding something. We just had this conversation about X and Twitter. Like when you have a worldwide name brand and you're unique and everybody knows it, then all of a sudden you decide you want to change it for no reason. That was my thinking when U of A was dropped. Because if you think about all the universities in America, and especially the Power 5 conferences, there's very few unique ones. Like the Ohio State University, for instance.
Yeah.
Right? There are no other colleges or universities where there's a "the" in front of it. It's always, UCLA, so forth and so on, but there's no "of" involved in any other naming hierarchy for any other college or university in the country. Everybody, my whole lifetime, has always known Tucson to be the home of the U of A.
Right.
Why you would change that branding, and I'm sure that there was a good obviously, there's a lot of board meetings and a lot of talk as to the before the change happened. But most of us, when I talked about it privately, it was just like, bro, like U of A, and at the chants and everything, like there's such a, it's so unique in the college landscape. Why you would do away with that branding? I never understood the reason.
And I don't know that I ever saw it as them doing away with it, more so than just adding another element to the branding, because especially for I think really they did it for the social media purposes.
Sure.
Which is where I think a lot of it you'll still see Arizona on a lot of the actual Twitter page of the university is at Arizona. So I don't know that that's going to change. They may still use that in terms of some of their different departments and whatnot. But in terms of print and writing it and that kind of thing, and I know I worked in a TV station, and our news side, they just immediately started using that, but I refused to use it in any of the stuff on the sports
I know the
side.
big reason why. U of A being a separate conversation I just had, but like as far as UA is concerned, do you know why the period of when that change started to be bantered about? It's when Under Armour blew up. So all of a sudden you've got this giant international brand.
Exactly.
Now UA, DK, is Auburn. It's Alabama. There's a lot of schools, right, that have that UA. So if it's just UA, you're never going to be a compete with, as far as getting a foothold on the internet. 10 years ago is probably about when we're talking about. All those domains are already taken. All of those monikers are already, so U of A being unique, but I completely understand Arizona. You type in UA freshman into, some search engine 10 years ago, what's going to come up is Under Armour commits this amount of money to this freshman at some place. So UA could not be used simply because of Under Armour, right?
Exactly. I don't necessarily write, again, in terms of how I write it, when I write our stories, I'll put UA in terms of versus continually saying Arizona. I very rarely write U of A in a story or if anything, I may use that online. Like I'll use U of A as a hashtag online or Twitter or Facebook or social media posts. If I do write it in a story, and this is another thing I guess they don't want us to do, but I do it anyway because I'm a dash happy person.
Right.
So I'll write it U-of-A.
Right.
They say, oh, we don't want you to do that either, but that's kind of just the way I've always done that. Because I'm the person that puts we get a lot of the releases and the stuff from baseball and softball, and I've always written, and this is interesting because we had Alex Eshelman on last week, who's an intern for us at Channel 13, who's now a sports reporter in Las Vegas. In terms of like athletics, like if a batter goes 6 for 8, I write 6-4 FOR-8. I'm a very hyphen-oriented type person, whereas like the official people that write the press releases, they don't use the dashes. But I'm a dash person, so I think everybody's different in that respect. But it's just I guess it's how you see it, how you feel comfortable with it. We went through the same thing at USC a number of years ago when they put in all of their information that they did not want to be referred to in print.
Yeah.
As Southern Cal.
Right.
You could refer to them as Southern California, USC. You could write it as SO.CALIF. But they did not want you to say Southern Cal. So everybody's got their different little idiosyncrasies, as I like to say, idiot-syncrasies sometimes.
Right. To me, it's super contextual because if I'm writing a story for Wildcats Radio 1290, and it doesn't matter because people are coming to read about the University of Arizona, everybody knows the context. If I'm on a national message board with a lot of Duke Blue Devil fans and Texas Longhorn fans writing out the U of A, everybody, and I'm talking college basketball message board, if you write out the U of A, everybody understands what that means.
Exactly.
You know, so contextually, nationally, people know U of A, especially for its basketball program. But Arizona, I think everybody, that was the goal of that initial branding. And obviously that's still a thing. You'll see that around, as you said. But if I'm trying to tell a bunch of national people about the program, it's U of A.
So Mitch Zach apparently put out this statement yesterday to the Arizona Daily Star. In 2019, Arizona was added to replace UA as a second reference in our written style guide for communication purposes and to optimize online searches for the university. We're best known to students, alums, and fans as Arizona and the U of A. The University of Arizona was never rebranded. Arizona was never intended to brand the university. That was the statement issued yesterday by the university.
I understood it when it happened to be just that. We just laid it out. It's internet branding, and in a landscape DK in 2019, I mean, Internet 2.0 was 2001. You're talking about like 18 years later. How much room is there for you to be able to market out, your little niche, whatever it is you're doing? So you need to have something has to be unique. You have to stand out somehow from the crowd, and especially with that search functionality. And if people can't find you and they're looking for you, that's a problem.
Yeah. So are you happy about that? 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290. Arizona has gone away and never to be brought back probably again. There you go. Speaking of the University of Arizona, over the weekend, we got a chance to hear from Arizona soccer alum Twilla Kaufman-Kilgore. Kaufman was the name, obviously, she played under here at the university on the soccer team. She spent some time this past year as the interim head coach of the U.S. women's national soccer team while they were going through a transition. They have since hired a full-time head coach, and Twilla has gone back into her role as an assistant coach. And we'll let you hear what she had to say about that time sitting in the lead seat, which she did lead the Americans into several tournaments and international matches, and what she remembers most about her time here at the University of Arizona. So we've got all of that coming up for you straight ahead today. We're also going to talk some Tucson Sugar Skulls. The final game of the season is coming up. Last chance for the fellas to get a victory this weekend. And we'll talk to Jalen Parks. He is one of the Sugar Skulls. We'll talk to him about the struggles of the season, his time with the club, and hopefully an opportunity for them to end the year with a win. Also, high school football season is just around the corner. We've got a number of new coaches throughout the Southern Arizona landscape. One of those is a guy we've known for a long time, but is leading a program for the first time. Sly Lewis, who was a longtime assistant coach over at Sabino High School for the likes of Ryan McBrayer most recently and Jay Campos. Before that, Sly Lewis now takes over the program at his alma mater over on the Warrior Block at Pueblo High School. Sly Lewis will join us, and we'll talk about this opportunity for him to lead his alma mater. It's DK on the Sports Tip. JW Madden is with us. Cricket will also be with us during the 4 o'clock hour. We'll get her thoughts on Arizona and a number of other topics. Right now, though, she's getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Swan and Camp Lowell and Swan. Traffic signals malfunctioning. Collisions reported at Ina and Shannon and Ina, also at Pima and Rosemont. Crash reported on I-10 westbound, I-10 west of Tangerine. And for your weather, we do have a 15% chance of showers today, 103 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Dairy Queen. Hey DQ fans, behold the DQ freezer. Not just an ordinary freezer, but an extraordinary freezer, holding all of the DQ Blizzard Treat flavors of the past. Now it's opening its doors for the salted caramel truffle Blizzard Treat, only at participating DQ locations.
Back to UberTube expert Eugene Snurkle and his best friend Doug.
Eugene, is it true you can't fix your car's air conditioning, so you're moving to Alaska or the North Pole or something?
Sorry, Doug. I meant to tell you, but I just can't seem to crack the code on fixing my car's AC.
Sorry to interrupt, Eugene, but we all know how this needs to end with a trip to Jack for Your Tire and Auto
Coach,
Care.
thank you so much
Hi,
for
folks. Sean
doing
Furrier
this.
here with some sizzling summer
we should have a
specials.
couple more
Besides
people
the
hopping
chilly
on,
prices on
but
AC
for now,
repair and big tire
Jayla,
rebates,
if you have
we've
any
also got
questions,
Duramax 5-year
go
free
ahead.
replacement batteries on sale this month
one
with a
question that you
$25
have
installation
is,
credit.
I
That
know
means
for,
free installation for most cars and trucks.
Seems a bit extreme.
Yes,
you have
Doug,
any
an extremely
questions,
tough battery
you can
built
go
for
ahead.
Arizona, and you can be extremely confident in the Duramax 5-year free replacement guarantee.
have
So for
is,
award-winning
I know
service,
for,
call or stop by one of our 14 area locations or make an appointment online. Jack for Your Tire and Auto Care since 1960, here to get you there.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9318. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9318. That's 800-575-9318. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
Really? Really, really?
Really? Free.
That's our polar bear promise.
You don't need us telling you it's been hot.
Really hot. Really, really.
You just need to know if your AC breaks down,
we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
William just said that.
It's the Alaskan AC
With
service
Alaskan
guarantee.
AC service guarantee.
Hey, Gary was speaking.
Thanks. Like I was saying, we'll arrive
in one day or your repair is free.
Okay, let's try this. At Alaskan Air Conditioning, we promise to be at your house in 24 hours or the fixing thing won't cost you any money.
What? What?
What? I just said with Alaskan
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
See, now that's easy to remember. It's a toe tapper. Really, really, really from AlaskanAC.com.
Hi, you know me, Scott Lehman from ScottSaysYes.com. Check out this month's Wildcats Radio 1290 Community Calendar powered by Premier Auto Center. Visit the Wildcats Radio 1290 community calendar at wildcatsradio1290.com to find out what community events are coming up in the Tucson area. You can also find Wildcats Radio 1290 events, upcoming sporting events, and more. Get the details and get involved with our community at wildcatsradio1290.com. Go to scottsaysyes.com today.
Hi, this is Mike Hanley, former president of Bank of Tucson, and I'm thrilled to announce that I have joined the Advisory Business Council of Meridian Wealth Management and Natalie Fernandez-Lee, Meridian's partner and advisor, who I am a great fan of. She has worked with many individuals and businesses in the community for decades. We live in crazy times these days and need the right financial advice, which is so important. If you'd like to talk to Natalie, give her a call at 719-1433 and have a great day.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Not indicative of future results. Always consult your financial and tax professional.
This is Jim Rome with a Sports Minute, sponsored by WeatherGuard Truck and Van Equipment. They're just as driven as the hardworking pros they serve. Alex Sarr, a.k.a. the number 2 overall pick in last month's draft. You see, the number 2 pick is a lot more worthy of coverage than the 55th pick anyway. I'm just not so sure how worthy he actually was of that number 2 overall pick. I'm Jim Rome.
For more than half a century, contractors and trade professionals have relied on WeatherGuard for heavy-duty truck and van storage equipment, not just to protect their valuable tools, but to protect their professional reputations. For pros, the WeatherGuard badge makes a statement about what drives them. It says, "Bring it on. Been there. Done that. We've got your back," without saying a word. And the folks at WeatherGuard, they're just as driven as the hardworking pros they serve. See what it means to be driven at weatherguard.com.
O'Reilly. You've got questions? O'Reilly Auto Parts has answers. Need a pro you can trust? We've got that too. No matter what you need, our professional parts people have the training and expertise to help you do things right. Deep automotive knowledge. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can
From the
text
O'Reilly
us at
Chevrolet
that number. And Cricket just trying to take over the show there, as she always tends to try to do. We'll get to you a little bit later in the program, Cricket. So just be patient. Be patient there. All right. I had a chance over the weekend to hear from a U of A alum on the athletic side in soccer, Twila Kaufman-Kilgore. Again, she is the assistant coach right now for the U.S. women's national team as they head over to Paris to participate in the Olympics. And she actually was leading the program for a little while during their transition from their most recent head coach. She's now back in the assistant role. And let's hear a little bit from Twila on her role with the United States soccer program and her time as a player here, known as Twila Kaufman, back in the late 90s and early aughts.
I know for a few players in the locker room, this will be their first Olympics that they'll be going to. So I kind of just want to know what the excitement level's been like in the locker room. And has there been any encouragement from those who have been before, and what that's been like leading up to the Olympics?
Everybody is excited for an Olympics, whether you've been to the Olympics before, any world championship before, or this is your first time, or this is your first time. It is an exciting thing and something that most athletes and coaches work towards their whole life. So the level of excitement is equal, but in different ways. And I also just think we're at a really unique time in the history of U.S. soccer. I mean, we've just gone through a 9 month, almost 9 month interim period. We've regrouped. We have a new head coach in Emma Hayes. There's a lot of excitement around what this group can do together here at the Olympics, getting ready for the Olympics. And also in the future, that there's a bit of a new era, I would say. And so there's excitement all around.
Thank you. I know you had the Impact 99 match yesterday. So I just want to know what was, how did it feel to get that win for something that I believe it was the 25th anniversary, and just how the game has grown with women's soccer from 25 years ago to now.
Yeah, I think winning is always important. There's never a time where it's not important. So getting a win is always a big thing, and it was a good step for us towards the Olympics against an opponent that we faced recently and had a different result. I think anytime you can be around the 99ers, that's a really special thing. It's a really unique group of women who've done incredible things, not just for the sport, but women around the world. And there's an aura around them that you can just feel. It's palpable. So to have those women around, our current squad, our current players, not just at the match, but actually spending time with us in the hotel, discussing what it means to be a member of this very special team, our DNA, and even giving a little bit of advice was really incredible. I actually was in the stands in the final in '99, watching that game, and that energy that you could feel at the time was really special. I think that's a group that's been charged with, or accredited maybe with, kind of turning on the lights for America about what women's soccer could be, and thus around the world. And that energy that I felt in the stadium that day, you could still feel around this group. So I would say, they are empowering this generation to be their own version of this modern version of this very special thing that's kind of always existed. And it's really, really neat to see them kind of sort of pass the torch.
And how prepared does the team feel going into the Olympics, especially having these last few matches before you guys head off to France?
Yeah, I think this is a group that believes in getting ready and staying ready. Obviously, unique challenges with coming off a long interim period in between two tournaments, a World Cup, a long interim period, and then really the beginning of a new era right at the cusp of the start of an Olympics. But I think that this group feels very prepared. I'm very proud of that. I think that we're in a really good place. It was perfect timing for Emma to come in and take over and impose her tactics and her style of play with a group that was really ready for it. And we're always up for world championships. I mean, this is what they've been training for their whole lives. And the fact that it's finally here, it's a really good timing for us.
And what's the excitement like for you as a coach and being able to be in a role and help lead them to possibly get to win some gold at the Olympics?
Just watching people grow and improve and be the best version of themselves consistently is just a really special thing. It's an honor to walk side by side with people as they compete at this level and help them. I think just the fact that we're in a place where I know we're in a good place to compete means a lot to me. And I will do everything I can to help empower individuals, individual players, groups of players, the full team, especially the squad, and especially support Emma as she leads us.
So has there kind of been like a message with the team that kind of keeps you guys like uplifted and going into every match and then going into this big competition in a few weeks? Has there been anything of that sort?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that kind of stand out. Playing to our strengths, playing with joy, that we're never alone in this. And Emma's cultivating a lot of messages that are currently being formed. And I don't want to speak too much on those things. But this is a team that knows how to and believes it will always find a way. And that's something in our DNA that we'll never lose. Or actually, I should say that we'll always have.
Thank you.
So what in your time in playing college kind of helped prepare you for such a long and impressive coaching career?
One of the reasons I actually chose University of Arizona is I was exposed to Lisa through Region 4 ODP. Lisa Frazier was the coach that recruited me there, and Bruce Karras, her late husband. And they were also working with coaching education at the time in the state of Arizona. So I knew Arizona was a place I could play, be a part of the Pac-10, be a part of, something special, be connected with a female coach that had wanted to help grow the game in many different ways, and that I could potentially start earning my licenses while I was there. And I did, in fact, coach the entire time. I was also a player at the University of Arizona in the local Tucson community. I worked in the Foothills Soccer Club. I worked at South Point High School. I worked all of our camps, and I continued to work for the club that I grew up in back at home. So yeah, I think just being around, coaches that wanted to help, other people go on to coach after playing was important. I spent a lot of time, watching like the managers of the men's basketball program at the time. And some of them have gone on to, coach. Josh Pastner is someone that comes to mind. And just watching the way that their program operated was a really special thing for me, I think, as a coach, seeing the level of organization and the ability that the effect that an individual could have on an individual's playing career. And it didn't matter what the title was. Just such a well-organized machine. They had won a national championship during the time I was being recruited. And I watched a lot of those, those players and managers that became coaches kind of grow up at the time. And I think it was a really high standard, and it's something I often think about when I think about organization and motivation and, what it takes to be great.
Awesome. Can you speak a little bit about your time as interim head coach for the U.S. women's national team and just what that was like and what that meant?
Yeah, it was it was unexpected, not in the sense that you might be asked to be interim head coach because, there's going to be someone that does that, but the length of time, it was something that kind of evolved over time, and it was just a great experience. We had a rough World Cup. We needed to rebound and regroup, not just rebound, but regroup from that and kind of set a new direction. We said goodbye to some legends in terms of Pino and JJ Ertz, and that was an interesting time. And then we onboarded a lot of new young players, less experienced players, as we call them. And that's not easy to do while competing. But over the course of several games, got a lot of these players that are now going to feature at this Olympics, which is very exciting. Their first minutes, their first exposures to this environment. And that was really important. And of course, going, not just winning 2 tournaments, but in the way that we went through some of the bumps in the road and some of the things that we had to address head on, I think have put us in a really good place moving into the Olympics. So, having to recover from a loss, penalty kicks late in games, shootouts to win games, different types of opponents, and being able to do that while layering in multiple systems and tactics has just, I think, put us in a really good place to be where we are. And it was a pretty seamless transition with Emma stepping in and now putting the finishing touches on.
Awesome. And then I'll wrap it up with this one, just kind of a fun one. What are you looking forward to at the Olympics?
I'm looking forward to seeing this group compete at its best. I think this is a group, maybe use the word finishing touches, but the truth is we have a long way to go, and Emma's layering in some of the finishes for the Olympics and also some of the basics for the long term. And there's always 2 things going on at once here. So I think just watching this group continue to grow. We've talked a lot about how it's a group that's just getting started, and I'm just looking forward to supporting them and this coaching staff as we move forward and, putting us in the best position possible that we can, doing my part to put us in the best position possible to be successful.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate you taking the time so much, and great. Good luck in Paris.
Thank you very much. And thanks for your time, you guys.
All right. That was Twila Kaufman.
Good morning, y'all.
Class of 2001, played 4 seasons of soccer here at the University of Arizona. She'll be with the U.S. women's national team as they try to win an Olympic gold medal. Interesting just to kind of hear her talk about the influence that she was watching kind of the basketball managers during her time here, which kind of came right after the Wildcats had won their national championship in 1997. She came in a little bit after that, but just to kind of see how they operated in that environment kind of helped formulate the coach that she's become now on an international level.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the big buzzword keyword that I heard there was organization. So if you know anything about Coach Olson, they used to track minutes. Every practice was laid out long beforehand. So they had it was a very organized setup. And so having the opportunity, DK, as a young person, obviously we've all heard all the stories about McHale and how that was the center hub for the University of Arizona campus at the time because all the weight training was done in there. And so I mean, that environment, late 90s, early 2000s, to be able to spend time in McHale and hang out with the football and basketball coaching staffs, that organization that Coach Olson was so famous for a young to-be coach in the future to pick up on some of that and to state that, DK, when she was asked specifically about what she might have learned along her path, watching Josh Pastner sit there, and specifically she said, it didn't matter what their role was. It didn't matter what their title was at the time, that everybody was involved, everybody had a role, and as long as you did your thing to the best of your ability and grew and learned along the way, I mean, everybody knows what Josh Pastner ended up doing after walking on here at the U of A. So, yeah, such a great learning environment for a young head coach.
Great to hear from Twilla Kaufman Kilgore. Best of luck to the American ladies as they head over to Paris. DK on the Sports Tip, 1 hour in the books. Hour number 2 coming up. We'll talk some Tucson Sugar Skulls. In this next hour, we'll get a check-in on what happened last night in Arlington, Texas at the Major League Baseball All-Star Game and a whole lot more. JW Madden is with me, cricket as well. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Collisions that are clearing I-10 in Houghton, westbound I-10 approaching Houghton, some slowing on our surface streets, Pima and Rosemont, and also Ina and Shannon. And for your weather, about a 15% chance of showers tonight, and it's 103 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Macy's Backstage. Shop Macy's Backstage today for amazing deals on everything you need for summer. Get low prices every day at Macy's Backstage. Find a store near you at macy'sbackstage.com. Off price, on trend, arriving daily.
Attention Tucson! We bring you every minute of Arizona men's basketball, both home and away, all season long. We are the home of the Arizona Wildcats. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Marco! Polo! Marco! Polo!
In a giant pool of business competitors, don't be the one left unseen and out of reach. If you're a business owner and need help with your online presence, let's make it happen. Introducing Cumulus Boost. Boost your website. Boost your findability. Boost your reputation. Boost your business.
Marco?
Yes, I'm Marco. Get a boost, get found, get on the map. Contact us today at cumulusboost.com.
At Nova Home Loans, we believe everyone deserves the opportunity to enjoy the independence that comes with home ownership. Whether you're a first-time home buyer who needs down payment assistance, have less than perfect credit, or looking to refinance, Nova has a variety of home loan programs for your unique situation. Visit novahomeloans.com or call 800-955-9125 to learn more. Not a commitment to lend or extend credit. Rates and available loan programs are subject to change without notice. NMLS 3087, BK 0902429, Equal Housing Opportunity.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, will arrive in one day or your repair is free.
Really? Really, really?
Really? Free.
That's our polar bear promise.
You don't need us telling you it's been hot.
Really hot. Really, really.
You just need to know, if your AC breaks down,
we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, will arrive in one day or your repair is free.
William just said that.
It's the Alaskan AC
With
service
Alaskan
guarantee.
AC service guarantee.
Hey, Gary was speaking.
Thanks. Like I was saying, we'll arrive
in one day or your repair is free.
Okay, let's try this. At Alaskan Air Conditioning, we promise to be at your house in 24 hours or the fixing thing won't cost you any money.
What? What?
What? I just said with Alaskan AC.
Alaskan AC service guarantee, will arrive in one day or your repair is free.
See, now that's easy to remember. It's a toe tapper. Really, really, really from AlaskanAC.com.
For 100 years, O'Reilly Chevrolet has been part of the fabric of Tucson, just as our Chevy trucks are part of the fabric of America. With that in mind, we're proud to announce it's officially truck season. And this year we have Motor Trend's Truck of the Year, the all-new Chevy Colorado. Test drive your new Chevy truck on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or check out our entire lineup at O'Reilly.com. Don't miss truck season, going on now at O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
For all the latest news from Arizona Stadium, McHale Center, and High Corbin Field, make sure to like us on Facebook at Wildcats 1290. This is the exclusive home of Arizona Athletics. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out.
Attention. If your teen or preteen is or has been addicted to Instagram, Snapchat, or TikTok and been treated for eating disorders, body image issues, anxiety, depression, or suicidal thoughts, you may be eligible to participate in a lawsuit for significant compensation. Text SOCIAL to 323232 for more information. Disclosures by multiple Facebook whistleblowers suggest Instagram knows their social media platforms are highly addictive and cause eating disorders, body image issues, depression, and suicidal ideation, but have done little to stop it. If your family has been impacted by social media addiction, you could be eligible for significant compensation. Text SOCIAL to 323232 if you'd like to discuss a lawsuit. Text SOCIAL to 323232. Text the word SOCIAL to 323232.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Motley Rice attorney Jennifer Guy is responsible for this ad. Motley Rice LLC is headquartered at 28 Bridgeside Boulevard, Mount Pleasant, South Carolina 29464.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We are the sports station that Tucson turns to for all the latest news when it comes to Arizona men's basketball, along with all the play-by-play action. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
From the what? Central Northwest Tucson, duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
And Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but 3 first names, David Scott Kelly.
Hour number 2 on a Wednesday. How are you? Hope everything is going well. The skies, I believe, still remain to be pretty clear here around southern Arizona, which is a good thing because a lot of people took really big hits from that rainstorm, that monsoon storm that came through on Sunday. I know there's a lot of folks out there with roof damage. And so the fact that we have not had any rain since is a huge, huge positive. It's given those people some time to reset, recover, and get some things taken care of. And hopefully we can kind of stay with that no rain for a little while longer to help everyone out that suffered damage on Sunday night.
I've been, here forever, and I've been through a lot of storms, but I think of Coach Harvey because, again, just like me, he's been here forever, and then just 1 year, DK, you have some maybe branch issue or whatever pooling on your situation, and then you don't get to be in your house for 9 months or a year, whatever that was. It can happen to anybody. I know that the trees locally got moved around, so we can move through our parking lot now, although I do think that Roger's still closed.
Oh. Do they have any signs telling people that today?
I didn't make it that far today. I finally learned my lesson after the last 2 days, and I didn't go. I went down first. I didn't get all the way there to Stone.
Only if you... Yeah, everybody, when we were talking about Arizona the first half for the show, and how that's gone away. And there was, when that happened yesterday, a lot of people were posting the Saturday Night Live when Colin Jost on Weekend Update made a joke about that.
Sure.
And so just when we were just talking about now about that, the fact that there were no street signs out there, if Tucson's got to be the only place, Southern Arizona got to be the only place where they ran out of road closed signs. If you run out of road closed signs, you must be Arizona.
Tucson has some weird SNL connections.
Oh.
Like, about Kristen Wiig's story?
No.
So she was a student at the U of A, and she had never done acting, and she took a class, and the instructor said, you got some talent, maybe you should think about doing this. And not long after that, she went to a psychic who said to her, "What are you doing here? You should be in Los Angeles." And the next day, she packed up her house and moved to Los Angeles.
Wow.
When she was a student here at the time.
We watched some movie that she was in. I can't remember what it was. It was she played a bridesmaid, and she just kept making.
Yeah, it's called Bridesmaids. Yeah.
Oh, is that Bridesmaids? Is that what it was called? Yeah. So we watched that one. About, I don't know, maybe I think it was like the week after we watched that other movie.
That's a very funny movie. That's one of Paige's favorites.
Kristen Wiig. I was like, I'd never really heard of her before. I was like, oh, who is this? actress here that's
She's
playing
great.
the lead role. But yeah, that was a pretty funny movie there, and I think there was a couple other actresses from the Saturday Night Live realm, and Melissa McCarthy was in it. Melissa McCarthy is just hilarious.
She was funny in that
She's
movie,
hilarious
too.
in everything that she's in. She's just
She was
got
the only
great
sane
comedic talent.
She was the only sane character in that whole movie, basically.
Sane and horny, I guess.
Yeah.
Five
With the thing for what was it, airline federal agents?
Federal agents, yeah. The marshals, air marshals.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. Good stuff there. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Did you get a new smart speaker from Prime Days? Now, I read this yesterday, J-Dub, and I'm like, I had no idea what they were talking about. Like, what in the world is Prime Days?
Right.
So, like, it'd be nice if, like, they give me these things to read. They would, like, give me a little disclaimer that says Prime Days is this, because I don't know what Prime Days is. So I looked it up, and I guess Prime Days was Amazon Prime has had something the last 2 days.
Yeah, so about 10 years ago, like 2015 era or whatever, Amazon came up with this idea of one day a year. It's like a basically forced Black Friday.
Okay.
Kind of thing.
There you go. So Prime Days was yesterday, and I guess it ends today at midnight is the end of Prime Days. So the question then is, did you get a smart speaker for Prime Days? Because if you did, we want you to make the most of it by streaming Wildcats Radio 1290. Whether you're cooking, cleaning, celebrating the anniversary with your wife like I did last night, getting the kids ready for school in the morning. Some kids are already in school. I think down in Vail, they start, they've got year-round school down there, and the year-round kids go back a little bit earlier than everybody else.
Yeah,
'cause
Paige
they
goes
have a
back
shorter
next week.
vacation. Is Paige a teacher? Or
Yeah, she's been a teacher for like 15 years.
And where does she teach at?
The other side of town. I don't
Okay.
want to dox her.
Okay, there you go. So school kids are back in school, or if you're just relaxing, let your new smart speaker bring you Wildcats Radio 1290 for free and without any subscriptions. Just say, Alexa, play Wildcats Radio 1290, and she'll do just that for you. So I hope I didn't get anything for Prime Days. I wish I had known it was happening. I would have maybe tried to get something. Did you get anything for Prime Days?
I don't need anything.
No?
I did get a smart speaker, but it was for
Maybe
my
you should have waited
birthday.
Maybe you should have waited to get that washer and dryer or whatever it was.
We got a like, what was holiday deal. 4th of July, I think, was the sale.
Better than Prime Days?
I couldn't tell you, but I don't know about Amazon shipping a washer and dryer to you in
No?
the mail. Probably would get a little dicey.
Yeah, I don't know about their delivery people taking a washer
I feel
and dryer
bad enough. Those
off
guys
of
are on
off of the truck there.
Those guys got to deliver 20 hours worth of packages in 8 hours.
Some of them get to drive Mercedes-looking vehicles. Some of them have the Mercedes delivery trucks. Have you ever seen those?
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
Okay, we've got cricket coming up here shortly, so we don't have a whole lot of time to get into anything in this segment. But why don't we discuss a little bit about the NBA Summer League is going on over in Las Vegas, and there was a little bit of a record yesterday set by one of the new stars, or at least one of the new budding stars of the National Basketball Association. He was the first-round pick. His name is, he was the number 2 pick overall, Alex Sarr. He missed 15 shots.
He did.
In the Summer League game for the Washington Wizards against the Portland Trailblazers. 0 for 15. It was the most field goal attempts by a player without a make in a Summer League game in 7 years. 15 shots, no makes. That's if you thought Bronny was having a rough time, and they're all over Bronny because he can't make any shots either.
Well, coincidentally, Bronny also went 0 for 15 from the three-point line in the Summer League this year.
Yeah. Well, that's over several games.
Yeah.
Alex Sarr, though, missed all of his in one game. He's 19 years old. He's out of France. We mentioned on draft night the number of French players who have been taken at the top of the last 2 drafts. So he is a budding young talent for sure. He right now is averaging 7 points and 7 rebounds in the 3 games that he's played. So not a bad first start to his summer presence in the NBA, but
Yeah.
Last night was not good.
The problem is any 7'1", dude who shoots 7 threes in a game, DK, without making a 2-point shot. This trend, I mean, we saw it quite a bit. Not so much now, because I think that the NBA's kind of come to terms with 7-footers shooting too many threes. Even Joel Embiid is getting inside the paint a lot more than he was 3 years ago. There's something to be said about bigs like that who have guard skills. Wemby went through this last year, where it's so much harder at that level against grown men, DK, to come in, to get into it and get your shots where you want them in your spots.
Yeah.
Because those defenders are much stronger. He's 19. He's a lanky dude. He's not going to be able to get to his spots. So what happens? You settle. And he's settling. I saw him get a rebound, dribble up unaffected by any defense, and pull up from 30 feet, 27 feet, DK, without making a pass, and bricked it from the top of the key. And, eventually maybe that's an efficient shot. But at this stage of your career in Summer League as a 19-year-old, what you want to be doing is trying to get shots that right now you can make in the 2024-25 NBA basketball season. If you're taking shots like that, it's really just stunting your development and your growth. You need to be able to try to get into, actions where you're going to get shots within the flow of the offense. And I think a lot of young bigs will try to settle just to show, hey, guess what? I'm out here shooting like Steph. I'm the next guy. I'm going to do this thing and stuff. But 0 for 7, DK. Hopefully next time out he takes 2, maybe 3 3-pointers at the most. 0 for 7 and 0 for 8 from 2 on top of that. That's not a good look.
He did have 9 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 blocks. So not a totally bad game overall. But yeah, the shooting just left a little bit to be desired there. Quick thoughts on Bronny's struggles here in the early going?
We saw it. I mean, I think, it's tough because he's he is undersized for the position that he's trying to play right now. Eventually, I would hope that Bronny's handles and his vision come along so that he can work his way into a little bit more of a combo point guard type of role. He's never been a very good shooter. He's always relied upon his burst and athleticism in high school and last year at USC. I think he has the ability or potential to be a good defender. It's just really tough. He's not a shooter. And we all knew that going in. I mean, the questions of why would you – he wasn't graded to be he was graded to be the 55th, 58th pick, which is what he was. So if you go back and look at the history, DK, of guys who get picked at that level – it's people have question marks, and a huge question mark of his has always been his shooting. So I think I've seen guys, Hornacek is a guy who came out of college and was a defender, right? Jeff Hornacek for the Suns. And he ended up becoming a very, very accomplished outside shooter, but that took time and discipline and a lot of reps. And it's never too late to learn. It's just whether or not he really puts that focus and work in, because he's going to have to. At 6'2", doesn't have exceptionally long arms.
No.
He's going to need to be able to knock down effectively, especially any kind of open look that he might get out there. So, yeah, 0 for 15 from 3. That's basically the big check box he needs to work on, is consistent outside shooting.
Suns lost to the Pacers 98-94. They're 0-2 at the Summer League in Vegas. Oso Iguodala scored 12 points. He was one of the 2 picks. Ryan Dunn, the other, had just 4 points. He went 2 of 9 from the floor. David Roddy, who's going into his 3rd season playing in the Summer League, though, and he had 16 points, 12 rebounds to lead the Suns team in their game.
Ryan Dunn
over in Vegas.
Real quick, is what Bronny wants to be, which is that 4 points makes no damn difference, because that dude is defense, all about defense. So he's already shown that he has ability at that level. So he's going to be a very good addition to the Suns for sure.
Joined by the 3rd member of our program, Cricket is here with us today. So Cricket, yesterday it's anniversary week for me. Yesterday was my wedding anniversary, 14 years.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary, baby. Yeah. And so today is my Tucson anniversary. 16 years here in Tucson. So
Wonderful.
They're back to back, July 16th and July 17th. So we were talking about, I finally got to the rodeo this year. So I crossed that off the list. I think I've done pretty much everything here in Southern Arizona except for eating a Sonoran dog because I'm not into funky stuff on my hot dogs.
Oh.
So I haven't done that.
What's wrong with you?
You should have been in here. We had a guy named Chuck that called us up. He, because one of the things we were talking about was that I've twice been to the Titan Missile Museum. Have you done that?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. And he called up. He'd worked there for 6 years.
Really?
In the
That's
1960s.
He was a commander.
Yeah, he was one of the commanders.
That's really cool.
Line commanders there. And
Well,
he
he
was
probably
just
didn't
telling
think
us
it was cool.
all about it and whatever. He said, how do you categorize it, JW? He said, you 21 hours of
Sitting around, yeah.
sitting around for 3 minutes of terror.
Stress,
Pure
yeah.
terror.
He also mentioned Cricket. He said the first time he looked down and saw the cone in the silo.
The
it was
silo,
just like,
the warhead looking up at him.
Right,
He said.
exactly.
Like, oh boy.
Crazy.
Yeah. So what is there anything you haven't? You've lived here your whole life, though. Is there anything you haven't done, or something you like finally did recently in the last, say, 10 years that you thought, man, I can't believe it took me so long to do that?
I guess maybe it's like 4 years ago, I went to The Thing. You know The Thing? It's like
The
Thing.
Thing.
It's on your way to.
I don't want to see The Thing.
On the
We
way
all know
to New
about The
Mexico.
Thing.
I had never been to
Wait,
that.
wait a minute. There's something on the road.
It's
that
like a
says
roadside,
that?
yeah, the
no, what
roadside
is that?
attraction.
There's not
I'm
something. There's
don't
hundreds.
Tell him.
I'm not.
Don't tell him. You're not allowed to tell anybody what happens at The Thing.
I'm talking about what DK said. You're underselling. It's not a something on the side of the road. It is a series of about 20 miles of billboards where it says coming up in 15 miles, coming up in 12 miles, coming up in 10 miles. Do you know what? Have you seen The Thing? It's like there's a series, and it's always been that way our whole lives.
But
Yeah.
you're not going to tell me what it is?
Nope. You have to go.
You gotta
And
go.
So this is going south towards Mexico? Is it off
yeah.
the 17, I think it is?
It's
or-
off of I-10.
Oh, I-10.
A little
okay.
bit. Is it? It's before Wilcox, right?
Before Wilcox.
I think it's before Wilcox or
All
close
right.
to.
So now
yeah.
I got to go do that.
The Thing, and
the
you can also get Dairy Queen too when you're done.
Oh,
There's a Dairy Queen attached. It's pretty cool.
My wife would love that. She is a Dairy Queen person for sure. The other thing I have, speaking of Wilcox, I've not been out to Apple Annie's. I've not done that yet.
Yeah.
Have
Oh,
you
that's a
done
fun
that?
ride.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do that every year.
All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got to do that still. Is there anything else that I haven't done that you would recommend that I should do? I've been to the ostrich farm. I didn't know. J-Dub told me that Picacho Peach was the most Western battle in the Civil War. I did not know the history of that.
Have you been to Tombstone?
I've been to Tombstone
Okay.
3 times.
Okay,
I've been
Corral.
to Tucson. I've been to Bisbee.
Oh, Bisbee's nice.
Yeah, I've been to Bisbee one time and walked up all the stairs and took the train underneath down to the. That's a mine, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The big copper mine. Yeah.
Copper
Yeah, the
mine,
copper mine. So I've
My
done
dad,
that.
he would have a lot of international visitors, and they always did the standards, which was Desert Museum, Sabino Canyon, top of Mount Lemmon, Hidden Valley Inn back then, because it was a lot of like a Tucson staple. And then if, Desert Museum, it depends on the time of year. But if you're bringing somebody here who's never been to the Sonoran Desert before, I mean, those are the standard things because of the uniqueness of the environment out here that they have never seen before. Beyond that, I mean, Gem Show, again, is like more of a recent. I was telling him, Sonoran dogs didn't come about until the late 80s. So, like, when we were growing up, there was no such thing as a Sonoran dog. It hadn't been invented
Crazy.
yet.
That is insane to me.
It hadn't
So
been
is that something
yet.
us tourists brought here? We brought.
No, it was
that
invented
probably-
in Sonora, Mexico,
Yeah.
and then quickly made its way to Tucson because we're so linked together. So.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Cricket, get us home and let us know. Do we have any road signs there telling us what to do finally?
Nope.
No.
J-Dub did the drive of shame today, didn't you?
No, I did not. We just talked about that. I turned on first. I turned I turned south on first instead of going all the way to Stone because I just didn't want to take the chance. 2 days in a row, I had to do the U-turn of shame. Not today.
Good job. From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. So I hear that on Roger Road, east and west of Stone Avenue, is repair work by TEP, and they're saying that they're going to have that reopened within 2 days. So we'll keep you posted on that.
All
Yeah.
right.
So, but again, Roger, east and west of Stone Avenue closed. Use Prince or Limberlost instead. Collisions that are clearing westbound I-10 approaching Houghton. Ruthroff east of I-10, Ina and Shannon, and also Pima and Rosemont. A 15% chance of showers, 103 right now. And I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
Sponsored by Wendy's new Saucy Nugs, a whole new way to nug. The best nugs are now even better. Wendy's new Saucy Nugs take the nugs you love and sauce them up in bold flavors, including buffalo, honey barbecue, garlic parm, and spicy ghost pepper. Try them all today. For a whole new way to nug, it's gotta be Wendy's, a participating U.S. Wendy's.
Back to UberTube expert Eugene Snurkle and his best friend Doug.
Eugene, is it true you can't fix your car's air conditioning, so you're moving to Alaska or the North Pole or something?
Sorry, Doug. I meant to tell you, but I just can't seem to crack the code on fixing my car's AC.
Sorry to interrupt, Eugene, but we all know how this needs to end with a trip to Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Hi folks, Sean Furrier here with some sizzling summer specials. Besides the chilly prices on AC repair and big tire rebates, we've also got Duramax 5-year free replacement batteries on sale this month with a $25 installation credit. That means free installation for most cars and trucks.
Seems a bit extreme.
Yes, Doug, an extremely tough battery built for Arizona, and you can be extremely confident in the Duramax 5-year free replacement guarantee. So for award-winning service, call or stop by one of our 14 area locations or make an appointment online. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, since 1960, here to get you there.
Quick, she's over here. I don't know. I just found her like this.
Yeah, she's banged up, but she'll be fine.
Oh, thank God. What can I do?
Just need the keys. And, sir?
Yeah?
Your car's gonna be fine.
Thank you.
Mobile detailing from Recon Auto Detailing. Tired of wear and tear on your vehicle or just tired of cleaning it yourself? We'll come to you. Book with us online and see why we have over 1,100 5-star reviews. Recon Auto Detailing. ReconDetail.com.
Wings y Mas, located at 1145 West Prince Road, isn't your typical chain wing restaurant. They're locally owned and operated, so they can and do put the customer first. They have happy hour Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. with wing specials that go along with it. On Mondays, get half off 1 dozen wings, and Wednesdays, get 12 wings for just $12. Okay, it's obvious. They have wings. So what's the Mas part? Mas are items like tostitos preparados, churro bites, and a family recipe salsa and chips that is a must. Check out their full menu on Instagram. Wings y Mas also has 6 TVs showing your favorite sports and all college and pro football games. Wings y Mas is your go-to spot for wings. Wings y Mas, we do wings.
And this Friday, we've got a sweet deal for you from Wings y Mas. You can get a $50 gift certificate for just $25. And this sweet deal will go on sale this Friday morning at 8:30 at wildcatsradio1290.com.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text BIKE to 321321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text BIKE to 321321. That's BIKE to 321321.
I'm Taylor Bisciotti with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. 49ers wide receiver Brandon Ayuk has requested a trade after an offseason filled with unsuccessful attempts to reach a long-term contract extension, according to NFL Network insider Mike Garafolo. Ayuk, who's had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons, along with his career-best year in 2023, is set to earn just over $14 million in the final year of his rookie contract this season. The 2024 #1 overall pick is signed, sealed, and delivered. Bears quarterback Caleb Williams agreed to a 4-year, $39.9 million fully guaranteed contract, according to NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport. Meantime, the Bears' 9th overall pick, wide receiver Rome Odunze, also agreed to his 4-year contract worth $22.7 million fully guaranteed, according to NFL Network insider Tom Pelissero. The Bears rookies reported to training camp Tuesday. The veterans report on Friday this week. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
They say health is wealth, and I could not agree more. That's why if you or somebody in your life is living with everyday aches and pains, I want to tell you about Relief Factor. And I'm telling you, I can feel the difference. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that helps fight pain naturally. Naturally. Now that's a big deal. Developed by doctors. Relief Factor's unique formula of ingredients all work together to help support your body's response to inflammation. Instead of masking pain for a couple of hours, Relief Factor actually helps reduce or even eliminate your pain for good. Whether it's neck, back, joint, or muscle pain, if you're looking to feel better, live better, give Relief Factor a try. In 3 weeks, you will know if it's working because you'll feel it. For instance, I was sent Relief Factor to try, and I've been taking it every single day. I'll tell you what, I feel the difference every day. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Save on your first order. Don't let pain tell you how to live. Fight back naturally with Relief Factor. These products and statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. We were saying earlier the high school football season is just around the corner. That means that the summer football campaign for the Tucson Sugar Skulls is coming to an end. Final game coming up this weekend. It'll be on the road. The fellows were wrapped up their home schedule last Saturday at the Boneyard. Let's talk some Sugar Skulls football. Pleased to be joined by defensive lineman Jalen Parks on the show. And Jalen, I know it has been a rough go for this team this year. 8 straight losses, but I guess how's the mentality going into this final game coming up Saturday over in Vegas?
The mentality every week for the game is just finish. So our goal every week is to finish and just get better each week. So that's what we've been focusing on game in and game out. Sometimes the games just don't go the way we want it to go. Sometimes we get a fumble. Sometimes we don't. And that's just how football works. The football gods just didn't like us this year.
What's been, I guess, when you break it down, when you look at the film, especially from the defensive side? I mean, you guys have had some close games. You know, once obviously one of the things we kind of harped on was there were some offensive struggles there, kind of in the middle of the season, and it's tough to win in this league when you don't have much offense going for you. But over the course of the last 4 weeks, just some tough losses in terms of the scoring's come back, but you've lost a game by 1 point, 12 points, 7 points, and this past weekend by 6 points. What have been some of the issues defensively that you guys have been dealing with?
The most issue that we've seen is honestly just missed tackles. If we clean up some of the missed tackles, get some of those key stops on 3rd and 4th down, I think the games that we've lost by close games are completely different.
Now, you are, if I'm not mistaken, you are from Georgia. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. All the way from the South.
All the way from the South. So had you been out west much? Had you been out into this area of Arizona at all? And what have you found that you've liked about playing some professional ball out here in southern Arizona?
This is actually my first time on the West Coast at all.
Wow.
And, yeah, I know. The one thing I like about it is I'm kind of living my dream. You know, ever since a kid, I've always wanted to play professional football. And fortunately enough for me, Tucson, Arizona was the place for me to go. So, and here we are.
Walk us through, had you played indoor before? Is this your first stop in indoor? And what was the circumstances that got you here on this team?
So this is actually my first year playing indoor. What led me to it is that I didn't originally want to play indoor, and then Coach Kaiser came in. He called me and said, "Look, man, it's just another opportunity to get film, and we believe in you. We see what you can do." And he ultimately said, "The choice is yours, but you'll be a great asset to the team, and everyone in the league will notice you eventually." And I took the chance, and here we are.
We're chatting with Jalen Parks, defensive lineman for the Tucson Sugar Skulls. Sugar Skulls will wrap up their season on Saturday night in Henderson, Nevada against the Vegas Nighthawks. So I always like to find out for guys that are experiencing the indoor game for the first time, because it's especially here in southern Arizona, obviously you guys practice outside. then you go in and you play the games inside. What have you noticed are the differences in that? What's kind of been maybe the one thing that's kind of stood out from what happens during the week in practice for you to when you actually get inside and start playing these games inside, other than the fact that I'm sure it's much more comfortable playing inside than it is out there practicing in the morning?
Yeah, that's only the main difference. And sometimes it just gets hotter in the arena than it does outside because everything is so fast-paced in the indoor game. So the main thing would be just keeping your focus and not realizing that it's hot, honestly.
Now, you played at 3 schools, if I'm not mistaken. You were at Samford, at St. Francis, and then you finished up at Frostburg State. What did you enjoy about those 3 places and getting a chance to play college football? I believe most of those schools are on the FCS level.
Yeah, the most fun thing that I can recall is making the memories with the guys and obviously getting my education because that's important first, right? So I made connections that are going to last a lifetime. I've played great football. I've learned different styles of football from St. Francis to Samford. So all I can say really is just that I'm grateful for all the experiences and all the life lessons that each school has taught me.
Had you not have come here to play football, what were you planning to do? Were you already you graduated, I believe, this past year? Had you started to work at all, or what were you doing when you got that call to come play?
So I was originally working because at first I did want to go, NFL, UFL, CFL. So when I didn't get that call, I just kept my head down, worked out just in case I did get a call. I kept my body prepared. I kept my body in shape. I ate right. I did everything so that when I did come here, I was in shape and everyone saw that I was ready to go.
So now after one season of this indoor, do you think you'll continue playing again? Do you want to play again inside? What are kind of the plans for the fall as you begin to look at what's next for you?
What's next for me, I can't really say. That's up to God, but I would like to come back if they would have me, honestly. I'm still going to do everything I need to do in my power to get stronger, faster, better. I'm going to do everything that I did. So as a small person, coming from a small school such as Frostburg State, you have to have this underdog mentality that you're already going to be overlooked. So as soon as I go home, I'm still going to keep that same mentality and just keep my head down, work out, and do everything I need to do.
What's your degree studies in?
I got a degree, my bachelor's in marketing, and then I got my master's in sports marketing.
Oh, that's awesome. So what do you want to do with that?
Anything with sports. I love sports. I've been around sports my whole life, so if I can find anything that has to do with sports, I'll be more than happy.
Do you see yourself working for a team? I mean, like even in a role like this as a player, are there things that you can maybe, I don't know, like if you go to practice from 9 to 10 and 9 to 11 or whatever, then you take your shower and go over to the front office and help out with some marketing materials or something like that?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I feel like if I were to do that, it'd bring another perspective of a football player and let the front office know how to market, if that makes sense. I'm not saying they're doing a bad job or anything. I'm just bringing another perspective.
All right, so give me that. Okay, I'm gonna put you on the spot here. Give me that. If you're playing indoor football, you've seen it now for a season. Give me that. Give me Jalen Parks' marketing pitch for people to come out and buy season tickets next year for the Tucson Sugar Skulls.
My pitch is that it's exciting and entertaining. There's never going to be a boring game. It's never going to be a slow play game. There's hits every 2 seconds. Man, it's just an enjoyable, fun time for the kids, for the family, for anyone who wants to come out.
There you go. I like that. Exactly. You're hired for sure. I think you've got a career in that. We had a chance to talk to one of your teammates earlier in the season, Devontae Sapp Lynch. Obviously, comes from some pretty good genes there. His brother Marshawn Lynch, and I went to a game. I got a chance to catch a game, and I saw Mama Lynch was in the house making a lot of noise for you guys. What's it like, kind of being around him, being around that family that has such strong ties to the NFL?
Man, Mama Lynch is hilarious. Man, she's at the games yelling at the refs, at the fans, at us. It's fun, but being can't really speak from Devontae's point of view, but I can say that he just wants to be looked at as one of the team members instead of Marshawn's brother. He accepted all of us. We accepted all of him as who he was when he came here, and I'm honestly just grateful I found another brother, honestly. So I can't really complain about it.
Have you talked to any of the teammates you played with in college and said that maybe were kind of on the fence like you and said, hey, this is something you should come out, come out here and take a look at Tucson, take a look at this squad. We need some guys to put us back, help put us in this program back on the map. Do you have conversations like that with guys you played with?
No, not yet. Honestly, most of my teammates that I've played with or talked to are still in college. One of them is at Maryland right now. Shout out to Donnell Brown. The other one is at Western Kentucky. Shout out to Sebastian Benjamin.
Nice.
So when their season is done, I'm a definitely make some calls.
Are you a big Georgia Bulldogs fan?
Oh man, go Dogs, man! I love Georgia.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what kind of team they put out there this year in the SEC. Hey, we appreciate you, Jalen, taking a few minutes to join us. Best of luck as you guys try to end this season on a winning note Saturday night over in Las Vegas.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you.
Jalen Parks, defensive lineman for the Tucson Sugar Skulls, 240 pounds, 6'1". Again, played his college ball at Samford St. Francis, and then a graduate year at Frostburg State, his first season indoors with this Tucson Sugar Skulls team. It's been a rough go for them, having lost 8 straight games. They are 2-13 on the season, but they'll try to end this thing on a winning note Saturday night when they go over to take on the Vegas Nighthawks. And so far on the season, I'll get you some numbers here on Jalen and what he's been able to do. He has been a big part of the defensive line. That's actually, I'm looking at last year's stats. I'm like, well, why can't I find his name there? But we'll get you those stats on Jalen, tell you a little bit about what he's doing in terms of this particular squad this season. But right now, cricket is going to get you home every 20 minutes, as she does on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Collisions that have been reported westbound I-10 approaching Houghton, Ina and Shannon, Pima and Rosemont, Ruthroff east of I-10, and also 22nd Street near Columbus. 15% chance of showers in 103 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's, home of the $5 Biggie Bag. The Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag is the GOAT of fast food deals for a lot of reasons. Here are 4 of them: a junior bacon cheeseburger, nuggies, fries, and a drink. It's also just $5. And unlike the other guys, it's not going away after a month. Get out there and get the bag. The Wendy's Biggie Bag. U.S. price and participation may vary.
Life insurance. It's something you need, but the process can seem overwhelming. And while buying coverage online may seem like an easy option, it can often lead to an expensive one-size-fits-all policy. What if one 15-minute phone call was all it took to get a personalized quote? That's reality with SelectQuote. SelectQuote customers save $6,000 over the course of a policy by working with a licensed insurance agent. And with their suite of highly rated insurance carriers, you can compare your options based on your needs and budget all in one place. Plus, they have policies for less than $1 a day with no medical exam required. That's right. You can be covered by the time you hang up. With savings like these and a process this easy, it might just be the most important call you make this year.
Get an accurate quote the first time with a SelectQuote agent today. Call 1-800-350-1313 for your free quote. That's 1-800-350-1313. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-350-1313. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
The Window Depot is more than a window store. The Window Depot is a one-stop warehouse with everything you need for your complete home remodel. Shop the aisles of pre-built cabinets in a variety of colors, granite and quartz countertops, sinks, skylights, and hardware to complete your project. Need a custom order? We can help. Our designers offer free design services and can special order everything you need for your kitchen or bathroom remodel today. Shop thewindowdepot.com or find a location near you. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text BIKE to 321321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text BIKE to 321321. That's BIKE to 321321.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out.
Attention. If your teen or preteen is or has been addicted to Instagram, Snapchat, or TikTok and been treated for eating disorders, body image issues, anxiety, depression, or suicidal thoughts, you may be eligible to participate in a lawsuit for significant compensation. Text SOCIAL to 323232 for more information. Disclosures by multiple Facebook whistleblowers suggest Instagram knows their social media platforms are highly addictive and cause eating disorders, body image issues, depression, and suicidal ideation, but have done little to stop it. If your family has been impacted by social media addiction, you could be eligible for significant compensation. Text SOCIAL to 323232 if you'd like to discuss a lawsuit. Text SOCIAL to 323232. Text the word SOCIAL to 323232.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Motley Rice, attorney Jennifer Guy is responsible for this ad. Motley Rice LLC is headquartered at 28 Bridgeside Boulevard, Mount Pleasant, South Carolina 29464.
Broadway in Tucson presents the new 2024-2025 season, featuring 6 blockbuster productions, including Mamma Mia and the Southern Arizona premieres of Clue, live on stage, Beetlejuice, Some Like It Hot, the Neil Diamond musical, A Beautiful Noise, and Shucked. Secure your signature season tickets today and get the best seats at the best prices. Visit BroadwayInTucson.com and secure your 2024-2025 season tickets today.
This is Zach Gelb with the Sports Minute, sponsored by Napa Silent Guard Brakes. The investigative lip readers caught Jaylen Brown at Summer League saying he doesn't think Bronny James is a pro. Brown is entitled to his opinion, but I'm disappointed he walked it back on social media by tweeting that Bronny has all the tools around him to be successful, and he's looking forward to watching Bronny grow. Brown said what he said, and it's not a big deal. Not everyone has to be buddies and supportive in the NBA, and you should be able to say someone isn't a pro without feeling like you have to immediately walk it back. I'm Zach Gelb.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this: if something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month, with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the number for you to get in on our program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. It is that time of year. Families and friends are gathering in the backyard or by the pool, and burgers and dogs are sizzling on the grill. It is the perfect time to upgrade your backyard barbecue with a chance to win $5,000 in the Hot Off the Grill giveaway. Buy the biggest, shiniest grill. Is that something grilling right now that I'm hearing? Is that a burger? Or
I'm grilling up a steak.
Oh, a steak. Man, that sounds good. You can buy the biggest, shiniest grill you can imagine, or throw a huge backyard bash and hire someone to do all the grilling for you. Head on over right now to our website, wildcatsradio1290.com. for your chance to enter to win. Again, a $5,000 chance to win in the Hot Off the Grill giveaway, courtesy of Wildcats Radio 1290. We appreciate Jalen Parks for joining us from the Tucson Sugar Skulls. I do have his stats here. Jalen on the season, 27.5 tackles. Looks like he is 5th on the team in that category. He's got 5.5 tackles for loss. He is 2nd on the team in that category. He has a 1.5 sacks. He is 2nd on the team in that category. And he also has 5 pass breakups this season from his position down there on the defensive line. Sugar Skulls wrap up their season Saturday over in Henderson, Nevada. Last night in Arlington, Texas, it was the Major League Baseball All-Star Game, and Paul Skeens got the start and pitched a scoreless inning. Just one inning, though. Top of the third, though. The first of the fireworks were provided by one Shohei Ohtani.
Aaron, what do you think about Shohei Ohtani?
Man, it's incredible. You know, what he does year in and year out. And then you think about this year where he's recovering from Tommy John surgery and he's hitting 316, 30 homers. It's just incredible.
It's this ball hard, way back to right field. Soto doesn't even move. Ohtani has homered in the All-Star game. 28 so far in the regular season. And in his second at-bat in the All-Star game, he launches a no-doubt 3-run home run. Well, he is.
How about that? I mean, you got Aaron Judge mic'd up in the outfield. He hit the post. I love it.
Right.
He got done with his thought just as the pitch was happening, just so we could hear the crack of the bat on the other major power hitter in the game of baseball, just absolutely blistering a laser into the right field seat.
The sound that bat made, too. Here it is one more time.
It's just incredible.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I just love it that you, as you said, hit the post. Aaron asked as mic'd up on the field just before Ohtani hits the home run. It's amazing. Good timing.
Talking about one great hitter, talking about another great hitter. So the National League, and I picked the National League to win this game. They were up 3-0 early, but that did not last. Ohtani hit that home run over the head of Juan Soto, and in the bottom of the third, Juan Soto would get some of those runs back.
Here's the Yankees' Juan Soto. First pitch, he sends this one up the middle. It's going to get through into center field. It will score Simeon. It will score Kwan. Soto digs for second. He's in there with a double as he takes advantage. And it's 3-2 now, National League.
Well, it just seems like Juan Soto is made for New York, hasn't it?
No, he's relishing the role.
And then it would be one of my Cleveland Guardians coming up, David Fry.
Now the Cleveland Guardians' David Fry is now going to pinch hit for Yordan Alvarez.
Fry's got a base hit to left field. Here comes Soto. Profar's throw is close but not in time, and the game is tied at 3. David Fry off of the bench to drive home Juan Soto.
And a rarity, really, in an all-star game to see one team score 3 and the next team come right back and score 3.
There you go. David Fry tying up the ball game. It would stay that way to the bottom of the 5th. And the Twins, Jarren Duran, would untie it.
Duran, who went into play center field for Aaron Judge, the Red Sox athletic center fielder, now bats.
Here's a high fly ball off of the bat at Jarren Duran. That one will leave the yard and give the American League its first lead of the night. Boy, this dream season for Jarren Duran continues here with a home run in the All-Star game.
He's a man that has power and speed, a lot of speed. The Boston Red Sox got really athletic with their lineup. It's why they're succeeding, and he's going to be a huge part of the success in the second half. When he gets on base, look out.
Jarren Duran hitting .284 this season with 10 home runs and 41 runs batted in for the Bo Sox. 5-3, the game would remain until the 9th, and then the closer from Cleveland, Emmanuel Clase.
9 run to the plate, 2 gone in the 9th inning. Clase's 0-2 is fouled into the glove for strike 3. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night to the National League. The AL's back on top with a 10th win in the last 11 All-Star games.
You ain't even in me, Clase. 2 strikeouts for the Indians or Guardians closer. Should I put a quarter in the thing for that? Saying Indians instead of Guardians.
We'll talk about it off air. How's that?
5-3 the final in favor of the American Leaguers as they get the win over the National Leaguers. After the ball game, the losing manager, your manager, Torey Lavello, says his goal was just to try to get everybody in the game.
I had a good time. It was like a baseball bender, and I didn't want it to end. About the 7th or 8th inning, I'm like, wait, the game is going to be over. I don't want it to be over. What time is it? Is it day or night? I just was in this zone of because this is like baseball heaven. And if you're a baseball fan, you got to love what was going on. Even though we didn't win the game, it was a really incredible experience for me. So, baseball bender, I just made that up. That's kind of what I felt like. I was sitting there in the dugout amongst some of the greatest players in the world, and I didn't want it to end.
How cool is it to have Ohtani homer for your team?
Yeah, it was pretty good feeling as he was round the bases. I'm like, it sure is nice that it's counting for points against or for the team that we're on, and I've seen it the other way a lot. I'm bummed it didn't hold up, and that's part of the game. But it was great to see him get a good swing off, put us ahead by 3, and I thought we were safe at that point, but it didn't work out.
Were you surprised that Ketel's hit was originally there and then changed?
Yeah, I mean it was like 110 mile an hour line drive ground ball, and an arrow went up there, and those are the things that the people that haven't necessarily been in front of a ball like that, trying to react to a ball like that, don't know how hard that play is to make. So, being a former infielder, I thought, wow, that should be a hit, and I'm glad it got changed.
You feel pretty good about the team in the second half because you've missed so many guys.
Yeah.
Coming back. I know Gallen's back.
Yeah.
You've got other pitchers. Are they due back soon?
Yeah, they're going to layer in. It'll probably first be Monty sometime on this trip, hopefully on this trip between Chicago and KC. And then Erod and Merrill are working hard to make it happen as soon as possible. When that is, I don't know. They've got to hit a couple other landmarks. But I'm very pleased with what we did in the first half. I talked about to the team in different general ways, just get within striking distance at the deadline. And they started to play really good baseball, and we're right where we should be. We haven't been consistent, and when we do it, we get on little runs like we're on right now. So hopefully it'll continue.
Yeah, that's 4 pitchers to be around 500.
Yeah. If you think, yeah.
You can probably do much better than that.
Yeah. We were cycling in some very young, talented, but young guys. Mena, Diaz, to name a couple. And then the next layer up were some of the guys that got time last year, but they held serve. They did a good job, but the starters are your horses, and they're your best for a reason, and they're healing, and they're coming back to us.
What do you say to Christopher Sanchez when you have to take him out for 2 pitches?
Yeah, it was a very awkward moment. I ran out there and I said, hey, man, this is just how it's falling right now. I apologize, but you had an unbelievable moment. And he's like, hey, man, like, let me finish this. Are you serious? But once my main goal was to get everybody in the game. Of course, there was one pitcher that we didn't, and that was Finnegan. But we had designs to get him in the game if we went into that 9th inning. But you're just chopping it up, and you want to be fair to everybody that's been awarded this opportunity. They've earned it, and I don't want to run from giving them the chance to go out and compete.
Christopher Sanchez only threw 2 pitches, but he got 2 outs on those 2 pitches. So good on him that he was able to go in there and get the job done. The Philadelphia Phillies starting pitcher for the National League.
How are you going to complain about only throwing 2 pitches when you're responsible for that, DK? I mean, come on. Just like maybe throw one in the dirt or whatever if you want to throw an extra pitch in there. But I didn't see those 2 pitches. I'm assuming they were pop-ups, right? I mean, or, infield outs. But he was too efficient, and that's why he only threw 2 pitches.
There you go. Again, the All-Star MVP was Jarren Duran from the Boston Red Sox. Let's hear from him after a 5-3 win for the American Leaguers.
And Michael is here, as Joe mentioned, to present the Ted Williams MVP presented by Chevrolet. Michael, you want to do the honors? It's Jarren Duran from the Red Sox. What are you going to do with that? I mean, that's going to look nice in the office, I think, Jarren.
I'll probably end up giving it to my dad, and he'll put it in a nice place for me to hold for the season.
What did this mean for you this whole weekend? Just to get to be here as an all-star for the first time, it's been your breakout year, and then to do that and hit the game-winning home run tonight.
Honestly, I can't really put it into words right now. I'm kind of overwhelmed with emotions, but I'm just very thankful to be here, and to represent the Red Sox is a big honor.
Take us into the mindset of the at-bat, right? You know you get an at-bat, maybe 2 in an all-star game. What's your approach going to the plate, and when you connected, what are you thinking watching it go?
I mean, I know he throws really hard, so I was like, all right, I'm hoping he throws me a fastball first pitch so I can see how hard it is. And then he just gave me a pitch to put a good swing on, and that's probably the first pitch I've ever pimped in my life, and I was just trying to soak it all in, but it was a surreal moment.
Jarren Duran, the All-Star MVP. So the game is over now. Again, we are on the Wednesday after the All-Star game, which is considered to be the most boring day of the year, which is why we are here to entertain you. And we will do that for at least 1 more hour.
I do have a very short tidbit of what Mr. Paul Skeens had to say about being Shohei Ohtani's teammate.
Oh, what's that?
I don't know of any hitter that I've faced that's better than him in my career, and so to be able to share a dugout with him was surreal.
There you go, Paul Skeens. The only thing, and again, this goes back to what we were talking about last week. I mean, right now, this is your bonus baby, and I get, Torrey wanted to get everybody in the game, but man, I might have let him go out there and pitch 2 innings because that's really what people wanted to see.
We were just talking about 99, and I think Pedro pitched 3, and that was a situation where, it was obviously in Boston, and there was reasons for it. But I'm pretty sure, I know who did we just do highlights of from the first other rookie from 95? He did 2. He pitched
Hideo
2.
Nomo.
Yeah, Hideo Nomo from the Dodgers. He pitched 2 innings as well. Yeah, it's so tough. I mean, we have so many, young players who are in their first ever All-Star game, especially, right? You want to make sure everybody at least touches some grass, gets out there, and can get themselves in the box score. That's really what it's all about.
Absolutely. It's DK on the Sports Tip. 1 hour to go. We're going to talk some high school football with Sly Lewis, the new head coach over at the Pueblo Warriors, the Warrior Block. We'll get his thoughts after he spent 20 years at Sabino. He finally has his own program. JW Madden is here, cricket also as well. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Roger Road closed east and west of Stone Avenue for about 2 more days due to repair work. Collisions that are reported in clearing, eastbound I-10 near Tangerine, Nogales Highway in Bilby, 22nd Street near Columbus, Ruth Ruff east of I-10. And for your weather, 15% chance of showers and about 103 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. It's Mattress Firm's semi-annual sale and clearance. Save up to 60% on a wide selection of quality mattresses at every price. Plus, score a free adjustable base with a qualifying purchase. Hurry and stop by Mattress Firm today.
Look! Up in the sky! It's a bird! It's a plane! No, it's...
I'm Captain Tobacco from Tobacco Barn.
My tobacco hero.
I'm here to wipe out high prices on tobacco products. I'm also here to inform citizens that you could save up to 40% on your favorite tobacco products. Pay no city or state sales tax at Tobacco Barn and save up to another $3 with a coupon at TobaccoBarnTucson.com. Uh-oh, I see high prices. Excuse me.
Save up to 40% off all your tobacco products at Tobacco Barn. Tobacco Barn is on the Indian Reservation, so you're not paying state tax or any city sales tax. Plus, you can get a coupon for an additional $3 off at TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
Take it from Captain Tobacco. Save up to 40%. Save with no city or state sales tax. And save with a coupon at TobaccoBarnTucson.com. Well, time for me to fly.
Tobacco Barn, Nogales Highway just south of Valencia. Check TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
Honey, our yard's full of weeds. Looks like a jungle and the neighbors are complaining.
I know. I'm trying to get rid of them, but the product I'm using, it doesn't work. Not to mention, I don't have the time.
But it's not just weeds.
It's not?
No, I'm seeing ants.
Ants?
Yeah, and spiders.
Ooh, spiders.
I know, and I think I saw a scorpion.
No way.
Yes way, and there's a pack rat in our garage.
Ew. Okay, I'll call University Termite and Pest Control today. We'll get rid of all of them.
Okay, honey, thank you.
University Termite and Pest Control, locally owned. Find them online at bepestfree.com.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out.
Attention. If your teen or preteen is or has been addicted to Instagram, Snapchat, or TikTok and been treated for eating disorders, body image issues, anxiety, depression, or suicidal thoughts, you may be eligible to participate in a lawsuit for significant compensation. Text SOCIAL to 323232 for more information. Disclosures by multiple Facebook whistleblowers suggest Instagram knows their social media platforms are highly addictive and cause eating disorders, body image issues, depression, and suicidal ideation, but have done little to stop it. If your family has been impacted by social media addiction, you could be eligible for significant compensation. Text SOCIAL to 323232 if you'd like to discuss a lawsuit. Text SOCIAL to 323232. Text the word SOCIAL to 323232.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Motley Rice, attorney Jennifer Guy is responsible for this ad. Motley Rice, LLC is headquartered at 28 Bridgeside Boulevard, Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, 29464.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
As a veteran, I live with health impacts from my service. VA gives me exceptional care and helped me gain the best quality of life.
Get what you earned. Visit choose.va.gov. Not all veterans are eligible for the type or amount of benefits mentioned here.
I answered the call. Together, we fought for our nation and its people. And even though I no longer wear the uniform, I am still a Marine. My service has come full circle. I will continue to support my country and my community. Then and now, Semper Fidelis remains my promise. Always faithful, always Marine.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We are the sports station that Tucson turns to for all the latest news when it comes to Arizona men's basketball, along with all the play-by-play action. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
From the what? Central Northwest Tucson. Duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
And Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but 3 first names, David Scott Kelly.
Hour number 3 on a Wednesday. So glad you could be with us. Hump Day. 2 more days to go on this week. Again, we'll be on vacation next week. The final vacation before the madness starts of the college athletics year. Football starts July 30th. That'll be the first practice.
Imagine
Like
we're going to have like 10 years, the madness never ends.
Never ends. No. Never ends. But it's going to be interesting this year. We've got a new conference, the Big 12. And we'll get into that a little bit. We haven't talked. We kind of talked about, and we had this as one of our questions of the day last week about how, whether or not there's going to be expansion or an announcement of more expansion for the Big 12. before we even get to the first kickoff. And I want to dive a little bit more into that whole thing coming up a little bit later
Some news
in this hour.
Did come out on that note,
Oh,
which is
today?
that the Big Ten and the SEC want nothing to do with Florida
Nothing to
State.
do.
Nothing to do. They're troublemakers. So there goes that leverage.
There you go. There you go. We do, though, want to talk a little bit about Arizona football as we are now just, again, 13 days away from the start of training camp. Fall camp is on the horizon, and this is a team we hope is going to be able to run the football this year.
Speedy Luke is checked in as a running back. Noah Fafita will hand it off. Luke left side, got a hole. He's down to the 30, cuts right to the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Arizona. Speedy Luke hits the accelerator.
Man, did he hit the accelerator. He saw that crease in the middle, and he just took off. No one had a chance once he was in the open. That's the play we've been looking for Speedy Luke, and we just got it. That was an explosive play by Speedy Luke.
But we're not talking about the running backs today. We're not talking about them. We're not talking about Speedy Luke, although that was an impressive run that he had. Really his kind of breakout run last season and the dominating win at Washington State. What we are going to talk about is one of the guys up front that is going to be opening those holes and has been opening those holes for the running backs at the University of Arizona, and that is your senior center, Josh Baker, who will be back this season, 6'3", to anchor an offensive line that returns 4 starters, started all 13 games last year at center, started all 12 games the year before. So he's going to be working on his 26th consecutive start in a row as he comes into this 2024 season. Will Josh Baker. He's got a new offensive line coach this year in Josh Oglesby. And again, this is a team last year that was managed, this offensive line was managed by Brennan Carroll. Brennan Carroll. Say that 5 times fast. Brennan Carroll, who obviously never actually played offensive line in college. Josh Oglesby, on the other hand, has played offensive line at the collegiate level. And Josh talks about his core philosophy as a teacher of offensive line play.
You know, the way I approach the room is everyone gets coached the same. Whether you are, the 30-game starter or the true freshman, everyone gets the same information. Everyone gets the same coaching because we're only as strong as our weakest link in our room.
That sounds like a guy, DK, who's been a part of an offensive line that had some injuries midseason.
Yeah. I mean, this is a guy he's played big-time he played big boy college football in the Big Ten, first team all Big Ten at Wisconsin. So Josh Oglesby knows a little something about how to do this and has been coaching with Brent Brennan at San Jose State, has participated in the Bill Walsh NFL Diversity Coaching Program. And, again, he's got a center in Josh Baker, who is a guy that knows a lot about playing some college football himself. Again, I mentioned 25 consecutive starts for Josh Baker at the center position. He's been along for this ride all the way through.
I'd say I enjoy now that I've left so far that we're at a point where I've left it better than I found it. And I'm so excited to continue that path. We went from 0-5 to 1-11 to 5-7 to 10-3, and now this year. I'm so excited for this next year with Wildcats, man. I'm so excited to continue that trend.
Can I just say something, DK? That's it right there. Like literally that alone. If you think of your effect on your circumstances
Your
around
legacy.
you in just a simple terms of, even if it's just a campsite, can I leave this better than I found it? But when you come to a team that lost 20 straight games, DK, having players start 23 consecutive games at center, being the core, obviously, of that offensive line, and having that philosophy of, I'm just so proud to have left it better and carry that on to the next group. It's just so impressive.
Yeah, this will be his 5th season. He came in 2020, which, again, was the COVID year he mentioned, 0-5, the 70-7 loss to ASU, and then the first year at Fish. played all 12 games, started 7 games in that season. So I'll have to see. I think if he started those, we'll look at his complete record. But if he started those on the back end of his 2021 season, then he's actually looking at maybe 32 games started in a row. We'll have to see exactly if he started the last 7. It's what it says he started 7 of the last 8 games of the season. So he may actually be on a little bit longer streak than the 25 I mentioned earlier. But Josh Oglesby absolutely loves having a guy like Josh Baker being at the center of his offensive line.
I'm so lucky to have walked into a room that has a center like Bake. He's on top of it as far as, learning the new rules of, identifying runs, identifying protections, and just the relationship that he has with Noah and how they, communicate with each other in between drives and series and practice. Hey, did you like that? Did you not like that? What'd you see here? Right? Could I have flipped this? Could I have changed that? They really approach it as professionals. So it's really fun to be around.
You know what his handle is on Instagram, Josh Baker?
What's that?
Big Bakes.
Nice.
Big Bakes. I like that from Josh Baker. Josh Baker, again, a new staff. He started with the Sumlin folks in 20, the Fish folks for 3 seasons, and now he's got the Brennan regime. Talks about what this new staff is all about.
I'd say it's a lot more fine detail. It's a lot more in-depth. It's very nice. It's very personable. It's very one-on-one coaching. And that was kind of their pitch. They're going to come in and they're going to develop you not as just a player, but also as a good man, as a good person. They're going to leave you with something else, but just football. They're going to develop you as a man, right? And they're going to develop personal relationships. And not only that, they know football. They damn well know football.
And Josh Oglesby, his coach, kind of takes why that relationship piece is so important, that he elaborates on that part of it.
I think as important as the X's and O's are, building a relationship with your players is just as important, so that they know that you have their back no matter what. And that's the approach that I have to this profession, especially in the room that I'm in. I think having played the position kind of gives me that little bit of an insight into how the room works. To be honest with you, it's one of the more fun parts of the job is building that relationship with the guys, so that they know that you care about them.
Yeah, DK, I mean, this sounds like a guy, obviously, who played offensive lineman at the highest level in the Big Ten. That relationship building he's talking about from a coach to student-athlete perspective, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that the same thing you really want from your offensive linemen themselves?
Yeah.
Because the communication, I mean, how fast stuff happens out there, the nonverbal communication especially, the better you know that guy to your left or your right, the better success you're going to have.
And it is a veteran line coming back. I mean, again, and we mentioned four of the 5 pieces. When you talk about Jonah Savinaya is back there. Wendell Moy is coming back. You got Raymond Polito, who will be back down there as well. And so we're going to find out how they mesh together and move forward from what they were able to do last year with Noah Fafita and company behind them. Brent Brennan and company and Dino Babers could not be in a better situation to have a veteran line with them to take in to this first season, because that's like the last thing you would want is to be having to break in a whole bunch of new linemen in your first year. That's going to make things a whole lot easier for them when you have your quarterback and a veteran offensive line to go along with that quarterback to get this offense off and moving quickly when the New Mexico Lobos come to town at the end of the month of August.
In terms of the terminology, right? And then replacing guys, especially on that offensive line, so key to running an efficient offense, DK. They're keeping the terminology the same. They got 5 guys coming back. I mean, that's a recipe for success, especially in a room like that when everybody genuinely likes each other and has that same goal in mind.
Josh Baker from Eureka Missouri. I don't have any idea where Eureka, Missouri is. We'll have to look that up. Smart kid, too. Pac-12 academic honor roll last season. 13 days until fall camp begins. All right. Crickets and tickets and all kinds of stuff. She doesn't have tickets for you today, but I heard you've got something else for the folks, Cricket.
Yes, we've got a sweet deal on Friday. Sweet deal. And I think this one will sell out. The food ones always do. From Wingsy Moss, you can get a $50 gift certificate for just $25. Sweet deal on Friday, 8:30 a.m. WildcatsRadio1290.com. About Wingsy Moss, it's locally owned and operated on Prince Road east of Flowing Wells. Open 10:30 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. They're closed on Tuesdays. The Monday deal, buy one dozen, get one half off. Wednesday deal, 12 wings for $12.
So that's tonight.
Yes.
Yes, 12 wings for $12 tonight.
Mm-hmm, that's a good deal.
Happy hour is underway, but you better get there. I hate that happy hour ends at 6. Like, why can't I don't get off till 6?
Exactly.
That's not fair to me.
That is not fair. Not at all.
Not fair to you. Not fair to J-Dub.
I know.
Well, can't we extend happy hour till 7?
That'd be nice.
No, I mean, this is set up for Tucson now because everybody leaves work at 3 o'clock. So, yeah, I guess that makes sense for those folks.
That is very true.
Yeah.
And as in the wings and more, the EMAS items include like Tostitos and Churro Bites and family recipe salsa and chips, 6 TVs showing your favorite sports and some of the customer favorites. Oh, my drool. Bacon ranch fries with boneless wings on top. Bacon cheese fries with jalapenos on top. And that sweet deal, you get $50 to spend at Wingsy Moss for only $25. Friday morning, 8:30 a.m. WildcatsRadio1290.com.
All right, so which of those do you think sounds the best to you? Bacon ranch fries with boneless wings on top or bacon cheese fries with jalapenos on top?
Yes to both. I say
right,
yes,
why
to
pick?
both.
You get one, I'll get the other. We'll share.
And we'll share. Yeah, I want to try them both. That
Well, I
sounds
don't
great.
do cheese, so I would only do the top one
yeah.
there. Bacon ranch fries with the boneless wings on top sounds good to me.
I know where Eureka, Missouri is.
Do you? Where
it's
is
26 miles from downtown St. Louis.
Oh, well, there you go. So we can just say he's from St. Louis.
Yeah, it's a suburb. It's like southwest of St.
All right.
Louis. Yeah.
That sounds good. That's Josh Baker. We were talking about him a little bit earlier. He is the center for the Arizona football team. And he is from have you ever been to Missouri?
No.
No? Have you ever been to Iowa?
No.
No. Have you been to Kansas?
No.
No. I told you my story in Kansas, right? How we were about to run out of gas in the middle of the night.
Oh gosh, yes. Oh my goodness. Those are
and
not
got
good
off
memories.
got off at 2 exits and the gas station was closed.
Oh man.
And had to get back on and go down and got off the next exit and the gas station was another 10 miles down the road. And so now we're on a 2-lane road in the middle of the night trying to get to gas.
It's dark.
That was
scary.
not fun. It was dark and scary for sure. All right, Cricket is going to get you home now every 20 minutes on the fives with the best voice in radio, according to the great Fred Harvey. Here she is.
And from the Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic, man, from the O'Reilly Chevrolet. See, now I'm all discombobulated. I don't even know what I'm doing now. So this is from the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center. It's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. So Roger Road east and west of Stone Avenue blocked off for about 2 more days. You could use Prince or Limberlost instead. Collisions that are reported and clearing eastbound I-10 near Tangerine, Nogales Highway in Bilby, and also Ruth Ruff east of I-10. 15% chance of showers and about 103 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by ChumbaCasino.com. Introducing Chumba Casino, the thrilling online social casino that's free to play. Head on over to ChumbaCasino.com now to join in on the fun. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Fun for the crew, fun for the family, fun for everyone. Dave & Buster's is the place to be for all things fun. With hundreds of awesome games, massive screens showing every single game, and their incredible menu of top-notch food and drinks. There's no better place to eat, drink, play, and watch than Dave & Buster's. Make Wednesday the highlight of your week at Dave & Buster's by experiencing half-price games on Wednesdays. That's right, every arcade game half price. Dave & Buster's at Tucson Marketplace, your Wednesday game day viewing spot.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rock & Kay. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills. Enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. Hit the community trails, explore local parks like Saguaro National and Colossal Cave, and mingle at private Diamond Community Park events. In the top-rated Vail School District, Rock & Kay is close to work, shopping, and services. Tour 11 different model homes by top-tier builders, offering move-in ready homes and special incentives. Live RockandK.com. Designed by Nature, proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
We're going abroad for the first time in years. To Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
It's so hot and sticky. I can't stand this humidity. I'm melting.
So you can either check for hot flashes and duct or call Pixrock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
It's not hot flashes.
We're calling Pixrock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing right now at 520-492-0748.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
Kathleen Wynne is running for Congress because Juan Ciscomani is too weak, too woke, and too afraid to defend our values and fight for us. Ciscomani claims to be pro-Trump, but won't even be in Milwaukee this week because Ciscomani's worried more what Democrats think of him than what you think. And it only gets worse. Ciscomani gave Biden $4 trillion in new debt to fund his woke far-left agenda, including money for Ukraine, Planned Parenthood, and sex change operations on minors. And last week, Ciscomani was MIA on defunding Jack Smith, and it failed by one vote, Ciscomani's vote. Kathleen Wynne stands with President Trump to secure our border, fight for taxpayers, and stop the deep state. Kathleen Wynne for Congress. It's time for a change from Rhino Juan Ciscomani. Time for a conservative change.
I'm Kathleen Wynne, and I approve this ad, paid for by Win for Arizona.
Westwood One presents Today in Women's Sports, sponsored by Kohl's. This season, find everyday style at great prices at Kohl's and Kohl's.com. The WNBA is getting ready to head into their month-long break to make way for the All-Star Game and the Olympics. Yesterday, in a battle between the top two teams in the league, the New York Liberty defeated the Connecticut Sun 82-74. Sabrina Ionescu starred for New York once again, scoring 30 points in the home victory. Earlier on Tuesday, the Phoenix Mercury improved to 13-12 on the year as they grabbed a road win over the Washington Mystics. Three-time WNBA champion Diana Taurasi had 18 points to close out the first half of the season.
I feel like we're in a good place. I think if we can find some consistency in what we're trying to do on both ends, we'll have a chance. Coming back from break, we'll all get on the same page, and we're going to make a move for it.
With Today in Women's Sports, I'm Maggie Gray on Westwood One.
Okay, if you're sleeping on the hot summer styles and great prices at Kohl's, you're missing out. I just shopped there and scored stylish shirts for my husband, along with some cute crochet dresses for myself. Plus, I saved 30% with my Kohl's card. But even if you don't have one, you can still save an extra 20% on some other great finds and earn Kohl's cash.
So what are you waiting for? Take your summer style from hot to sizzling and get to Kohl's. Select styles, 20% off GPO, valid through July 21st. Some exclusions apply. See store or kohls.com for details.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
High school football season is on the horizon here in southern Arizona. We've got a number of new coaches across the landscape leading programs, some for the first time. And one of those men joins us right now. He is Sly Lewis. He was the longtime assistant coach over at Sabino High School, and now will be taking over the Pueblo Warriors program. First of all, Sly, appreciate you joining us, and congratulations. I would imagine this is an opportunity that you have been waiting for quite a long time.
I just want to say thank you for having me on. Yes, absolutely. I've been at Sabino for 20 years and been, able to be around great people, and now I have the opportunity to bring my staff together, and this is going to be my first year at Pueblo, and I'm excited for that.
So when you lead a program or you're at a program, I should say, for 20 years, when do you kind of begin to start thinking that, all right, I think I might be ready to potentially take on a program of my own?
It was always, something that I felt like I didn't need to be a head coach, to know my worth. I was an assistant. I was around great people. I've learned from a great tree of coaches in Southern Arizona. And, once the championship happened, we got the state championship at Sabino, it was something that I thought about. Ironically, I got a text as I was thinking about it and asking if I would be interested in talking about it. And from that point on, it was kind of the ball started rolling, and, ultimately decided that I wanted to take the challenge.
So can you tell us kind of like, when you got that text, were you expecting maybe, had you seen that the position was open at Pueblo before you got that text? Was that something maybe you thought about, maybe I will apply for that job? Maybe that might be the place to get my head coaching career started.
I always watched from afar. I'm an alumni. So, I always watched, seeing what was going on over at Pueblo, and didn't really think that, it was going to be available at all, but once I did get the text and had the conversation, it was very intriguing. And I always said if I was going to leave Sabino, it would only be for one place, and it would be home at Pueblo.
Pueblo High School, obviously, you're an alum of that school. What was it like? What was it like playing football at Pueblo High School when you were there?
Very tough. Coach Santa Cruz, very, very detailed, very honorable man, great person. The history that he has brought to the school, he was just the man. If you knew Pueblo football, you knew Coach Santa Cruz, and that is something that was definitely instilled in all the players that he coached.
We're chatting with Sly Lewis. He is the new head football coach at Pueblo High School on the Warrior block. Obviously, Sly, it is not an easy situation there. You're dealing with a lot of kids who are underprivileged and some that have to work. How do you approach that? How do you approach what your goal is at Pueblo, what the expectations should be for the program at Pueblo? How do you kind of forecast all that as you begin this run?
Just starting with, the standard is the standard. The expectation is the standard. It's a different demographic, but also, too, I think people don't understand the work ethic that goes with that community. Bringing that together and having an understanding of where we want to go, we're talking about a community that is built on pride, and we want to make sure that pride comes back to Pueblo. And how do we do that? Well, it's going to take our discipline, showing up when we need to show up for practices, showing up when we need to have a competition, showing up when we're doing something for the community. Those are the things that start. And then also classroom, making sure that we're taking care of everything that we can possibly in the classrooms, because obviously if we're not having kids that are struggling with school, we got to make sure that we're identifying that and working towards that to making sure they're eligible, because if they're not eligible, then they can't play. So that's a different animal. I think every school struggles with that, but I think that we have great counselors, a great core of kids that understand the importance between the education and ball, and we just want to make sure that we put those things together.
Obviously, you're following, solid head coach and Jake Allen, who decided to take the job down at Saurita. When you met with the parents for the first time, what were some of the things you heard from them about, maybe some of the things that he had instilled and the direction that he had that they wanted to see continued and maybe melded into the operation that you're going to run?
I really didn't get too much feedback from parents. The one thing that they did say that the group was going to be young coming back, because there's going to be only 7 seniors this season playing for us. So it was definitely a young group of kids going to be coming back. But what I did understand is how connected they were to Coach Allen, and nothing but respect for what he's done for Pueblo over the last couple of years. Just want to build on a foundation of starting what our new era and making sure that we're going to the goals that we want to get to.
We're pleased to be joined by Sly Lewis, the new head football coach at Pueblo High School. High school football just around the corner for sure. He comes over after a 20-year stay at Sabino that culminated with a state championship last year in Conference 3A. What was most special about the opportunity to work with that group last year with the SaberCats? Sly, obviously led by the outstanding 3-year quarterback you guys had over there in Cameron Hackworth.
First of all, I just think the staff, we were we worked together for so long. We really picked each other up, when needed. And a lot of the biggest thing that I would say, the reason why we had success is because there was no egos. We wanted to make sure we could do everything possible for these kids to be successful on and off the field. And I think that's what started, to make sure that these kids understand that we care for them off the field, and that built those relationships over the last 3 years and culminated with that championship, like you just said. Having Cam, he's a special young man. He's the best leader that I've ever been around. And, kids just gravitate and follow. And the group that we had, they worked towards that goal. And, there were some games that we obviously didn't get, but they were learning steps for us to get over the hump. And, for a 5-week period, everybody was locked in. Everybody had one goal. And, there was at our team room, it has semifinalists, quarterfinalists, and finalists. And I said, this is cool. The quarterfinals is cool. The semifinals is cool. But winning the state is forever. And, man, they really took a hold of that. And I think that was a great thing, because not only for the players but for the coaches, it was just that time to get it done. It was a special group, and I'm grateful for that opportunity to be around those guys. It's something that we'll remember forever. And that was part of leaving a legacy, and those guys actually did it. And I think it's a really cool thing for them in their futures. They can always say that they're a state champion. Not many teams or people get to say that they are that, especially in Southern Arizona.
You were the offensive coordinator there. What will we see? Will we see the same type of offensive scheme at Pueblo? How do you plan to roll offensively there with the Warriors?
I think you could see the same kind of identity. The one thing that I love about our group right now is they're willing to learn, and actually I'm learning them as well. The thing about it is, people have their systems, but you got to make sure that, the kids can adapt to your system, and you have to adapt to your kids. So I love where we're going. Every single day is a building block. We're meeting every single day before we go on the field to certain tasks that we want to take care of. And, I'm excited, for the challenge of making sure that we can score some points, that we got to win some games, and we got to score some points to do that. So these guys are willing to roll up the sleeves and get the job done.
Who are some of the folks on your staff that are going to be assisting you over there?
My varsity staff will be Coach Cook. He was actually running back coach with us at Sabino. So he came over. Defensive coordinator, he's been elevated he was a JV coach for a long time at Pueblo, named Mike Carpenter. And then we have my quarterback coach is Gibbons Tippins Hill, a young guy that's just willing to learn, and he's been instrumental with our quarterbacks and taking them under his wing. Offensive line coach, which is my assistant head coach, Mario Elias, great guy, high energy, tough as nails, and has the offensive line where he wants to expand and get those guys up front taking care of business. Also, we'll have Jared Tank, we call him Coach Tank. Miles, he's our defensive line coach. He was on campus before I got there. Decided to keep him because he's done a great job within the weight room as well. And so I'm excited up front. He's a high energy guy, big guy, and big presence, and the kids follow him. So I just love what he does. Our defensive back coach is Will Ray Fontenot, former U of A guy.
Yeah.
He's our cornerbacks coach. He's done a phenomenal job with the guys as well over the summer. And then we have Marcus Williams. He's also one of our DB coaches as well, coaches of safeties. He's done a phenomenal job. Him and Will Ray together is doing great things, and I'm excited for that, the back end of our defense. Our linebacker coach actually has our DC, like I was talking about, Mike Carpenter, and Oscar Landry is a former player as well from Pueblo. He went on to Ottawa, came back, and now he's going to be working at the school, and he's going to be working with us as well. So that's kind of solidified my varsity staff. I'm blessed to have 18 coaches on staff, which I think is crazy unheard of, and especially in Southern Arizona. And I'm just grateful for every single one of them, because not one of these guys since day one has asked for a dime. They just wanted to work with kids and make them better. So I appreciate them guys as much as anything right now in the world, with my family supporting me, because it takes a village, and they're great leaders of men, and I'm just excited for this season to roll.
Sly Lewis, he is the head coach at the Pueblo High School for the Warriors in his first season. We got much more coming up. We're actually going to hold you over, Sly, for another segment here and talk a little bit about a great event that you guys have coming up here in about a week and a half to really try to supercharge the start of this program under your leadership. Again, Sly Lewis, the head football coach at Pueblo, is joining us. We'll have more with him right now, though. Cricket gets you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together. Craycroft and Sunrise Drive in Craycroft, a hit and run. Another crash, Nogales and Bilby and Nogales Highway. Widening work along Twin Peaks Road between Silver Bell and Quarry Road will continue through August of 2026. 15% chance of showers tonight, 104 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by ExpressPros.com.
Here at O'Reilly Chevrolet, we want to thank you, Tucson, for helping us celebrate 100 years of serving our community. And we want to thank the Tucson Fire Department for helping us put out the cape.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
I'm Michael Jenkins, helping you beat the books with BetQL. Tiger Woods is in Scotland this week for the Open Championship, his 21st appearance in golf's oldest major. He isn't close to being the favorite, and the odds reflect that, with Woods going off around 200-1 on Thursday. Despite Tiger saying he can still win, the favorites are Scottie Scheffler at 5-1, Rory McIlroy 8-1. It's always tough to pick the outright winner, especially at a major. I'm Michael Jenkins. Bet smarter and beat the books with BetQL, and download the BetMGM app today.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Granger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgranger.com or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out.
Attention. If your teen or preteen is or has been addicted to Instagram, Snapchat, or TikTok and been treated for eating disorders, body image issues, anxiety, depression, or suicidal thoughts, you may be eligible to participate in a lawsuit for significant compensation. Text SOCIAL to 323232 for more information. Disclosures by multiple Facebook whistleblowers suggest Instagram knows their social media platforms are highly addictive and cause eating disorders, body image issues, depression, and suicidal ideation, but have done little to stop it. If your family has been impacted by social media addiction, you could be eligible for significant compensation. Text SOCIAL to 323232 if you'd like to discuss a lawsuit. Text SOCIAL to 323232. Text the word SOCIAL to 323232.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Motley Rice, attorney Jennifer Guy is responsible for this ad. Motley Rice LLC is headquartered at 28 Bridgeside Boulevard, Mount Pleasant, South Carolina 29464.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
Really?
Really, really?
Really? Free. That's our polar bear promise.
You don't need us telling you it's been hot.
Really hot.
Really, really?
You just need to know if your AC breaks down,
we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
William just said that. It's the Alaskan AC
With
service
Alaskan
guarantee.
AC service guarantee.
Hey, Gary was speaking. Thanks. Like I was saying, we'll arrive
in one day or your repair is free.
Okay, let's try this. At Alaskan Air Conditioning, we promise to be at your house in 24 hours or the fixing thing won't cost you any money.
What? What?
I just said with Alaskan
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
See, now that's easy to remember.
It's a toe tapper.
Really?
Really, really, from AlaskanAC.com.
Are you ready for a new job? Express Employment Professionals helps tens of thousands of people find jobs every year and never charges a fee. Find your next job with Express Employment. Go to expresspros.com to find your location. That's expresspros.com.
This is an announcement to all United States vehicle owners who own a 2003 or newer vehicle with a manufacturer's warranty about to expire or no warranty coverage at all. With a struggling economy and the cost of living on the rise, Endurance is now offering an affordable, low-cost vehicle coverage plan to the general public. As of today, you could be one of millions of drivers that now may qualify to have your vehicle protected under this coverage and have all future covered auto repairs paid directly to the repair shop for you. You pick your plan. You pick your deductible. You even pick the repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental coverage is included. Get your vehicle protected now and save your wallet from costly vehicle repairs. A toll-free number has been established for you to call for your free 5-minute quote and to see if you qualify. The number to call is 800-290-1583. 800-290-1583. Again, that's 800-290-1583. Coverage, deductibles, and claims may vary. For details, go to endurancewarranty.com.
This is Zach Gelb with the Sports Minute, sponsored by Wrangler. It's Wrangler season out there. Open roads, endless horizons. Shop Wrangler.com for new denim styles. Brandon Ayuk has requested a trade. Let's just remind everyone that just because a player requests a trade doesn't mean the organization the player's under contract with has to oblige. And that's exactly what I think the 49ers will do, which is nothing. John Lynch isn't afraid of a messy situation, and his team is all in on trying to win a championship, and that means they won't trade Ayuk this year. I'm Zach Gelb.
Around here at Wrangler, we are all excited for spring. The longer days, the warmer nights. When you've got your pick of shorts and jeans, either works just fine. Blue skies, open roads. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Around here at Wrangler, we are all excited for spring. The longer days, the warmer nights. When you've got your pick of shorts and jeans, either works works just fine. Blue skies, open roads. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Final segment of the day. We got some breaking news here. So let's just get this in real quick here before we return to our conversation with Sly Lewis. Just coming in, President Joe Biden has tested positive for the coronavirus while campaigning in Las Vegas. It is said that the president has mild symptoms. This is coming from Karine Jean-Pierre. The press secretary says Biden will fly to his home in Delaware, where he'll self-isolate and will continue to carry out all of his duties fully during that time. Again, breaking news right now. The president of the United States, Joe Biden, has tested positive for COVID-19 while traveling to Las Vegas today. We are joined by the new head coach of the Pueblo Warriors football team, Sly Lewis, in his first year after 20 years as an assistant coach at Sabino High School. And Sly, you guys have got a pretty big event coming up a week from Saturday. Tell us a little bit about that.
Once I got the job, I was, some alumni were reaching out and they're, hey, you should probably do a golf tournament. I think it would be pretty cool. So we're together. This golf tournament is going to be June 27th at StarFast. And I'm excited to, I'm getting phone calls of even former players from Sabino, former just friends from all over the place coming in for that weekend to play. It's a fundraiser for us at Pueblo. It takes a lot to run a program, and any fundraising that we can do to help out and alleviate things as we need throughout the season, we're going to do it. So we've had a couple of fundraisers before, but I think this one's going to be great. I love the tie because it's going to be tied in with the community. I'm actually going to be playing with Chris Edwards from Tucson Appliance. So I'm just excited. I would love for everyone to come out. If you want to come out, I can get you that info. My email is slylewis1@gmail.com, and I can get you set up with that golf tournament, and we'd love to have you out supporting the boys.
Outstanding. Again, it's up at the club at Star Pass a week from Saturday. Deadline is a week from tomorrow to register. One player can register for $120, foursomes for $440. And again, you can register at Pueblo Football Boosters 2023 at gmail.com. Obviously, you got a great administration over there. A couple of my favorite guys in this community, and Frankie Roslenhauser and Miguel Sandoval. What was their message to you when they said, you're our guy?
Just welcoming. I've known Miguel for a long time, and we've talked about this time. Been friends, and, man, I once they reached out and Frank reached out, it was just like, man, it's finally happening. We had talked about, just overall football, not just so much as me coming back to Pueblo, just overall demographics of football. And it was always great to talk to those guys. So when I got the message to, talk about things, I was very, very excited. And I'm excited for them, to be with me along this journey.
And before we go, Sly, you coached the Berry Hill boys last year over there at Sabino. A couple of them have moved on to a larger opportunity up in the valley. What was your message to them about how they need to kind of move forward in the game as they try to reach that higher plane?
Honestly, to just keep doing what they're doing. Those guys work extremely hard. People will question a lot of things with different players, and I would tell them all the time, nobody wants to win. Nobody wants to work as hard as those guys. They get all the accolades. It's well-deserved because they're working at 7 a.m. They're working at 8 p.m., working on their craft. So I think they have the opportunity of a lifetime down there in Phoenix, playing at Centennial High School, and I'm excited to watch from afar, communicate with them quite often. And I'm just excited. They've called and wished me luck for this season, and vice versa. I'm wishing them luck and nothing but the best, the whole family. Obviously, we've been together I've known them since birth, basically. But I've coached them the last, couple of years. It's been freaking awesome. It just has been a great experience. The family dynamic that we had at Sabino was like no other, and I want to instill that same thing at Pueblo. So nothing but respect for the Berry Hills, and I know they're going to do big things.
Am I seeing this? I pulled up your schedule. Am I seeing this correct? You guys are opening with a 10 a.m. game? Is that correct or is that incorrect?
Yes, sir. That's going to be correct. We're going to be Saturday, August 31st instead of August 30th at 7. The reason why there's a bunch of games getting moved because of referee shortage, which is a whole different beast.
Wow.
Nothing but respect for all those referees. That's a tough job. They're wrong no matter what they do. But my staff and our team, we are working every single day we just had a talk yesterday about how we need to conduct ourselves with the referees. And, I know they're at the youth level, especially, they're losing some really good guys. I'm not going to say any names, but there's a special one that just decided not to do it. And we're going to do everything in our power to make sure that we're just cordial, handling our business, and making sure that we know that those guys are a part of the game, and however we can help, we'll do that.
Wow, so the season opener will be Saturday, 10 a.m. So before you head out for the U of A football home opener, get on out to the Warrior Block for the home season opener against Nogales at 10 a.m. We'll check back in with you as well during the season, Sly, if we can maybe get the scheduling together. Hopefully, we'll bring our Friday night show out to one of your home games this season if we can make those dates work.
Absolutely, that'd be great. Yeah, Saturday at 10 a.m. We're very excited. Obviously, we couldn't play at 7 o'clock because University of Arizona is playing that night, so that would be not a good situation for us.
No.
So obviously, had it a little early. Now everybody can come out, watch our game, and then have enough time to get to tailgates and watch U of A. So we're excited for this day. Our boys are working every single day. Nogales is coming down. Great football team. Can't wait for season opener.
Sly Lewis, he is the head coach, the new head coach of the Pueblo Warriors, a Warrior Block alum for sure. Sly, we appreciate you taking some time to join us and look forward to the season, which is just on the horizon. Practices will be getting going for all of our local high schools here coming up here. Once we get back from vacation, I think that week of July 30th, practices will begin for high school football. All right, I want to repeat the breaking news that we read to you just at the top of this segment. President Joe Biden has tested positive for COVID-19. The White House confirmed that on Wednesday. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said in a statement that Mr. Biden tested positive earlier in the day after an event in Las Vegas. He was poised to address the annual conference of the Hispanic Civil Rights and Advocacy Groups Unidos Us, but its president, Janet Murguay, announced that he would no longer be able to attend. The press secretary indicates that the president is vaccinated and boosted and is experiencing mild symptoms. He is now headed back to his home in Delaware on Air Force One to self-isolate. Again, the president of the United States, Joe Biden, has tested positive today for COVID-19. That is breaking news on the news side. J-Dub, you've got some breaking news in sports right now.
Yeah, in fact, breaking news out of Las Vegas, DK. Also,
everything is happening in Vegas.
Apparently, the 0 for 15 effort by the second overall pick last night in the Summer League, DK, by Mr. Alex Sarr, you mentioned that earlier in the show.
Was broken tonight?
Was so bad that he had to change his number.
Oh, gosh.
So he's no longer wearing 12. He's now going to be wearing 20 from now on because of over 15 last night. Maybe better mojo with the number 20.
Wow. There you go. All right. That's tremendous breaking news right there.
It's called brevity.
Side.
Brevity, DK, brevity.
Brevity news there. If it works for Alex, it works for me. A couple other notes before we get out of here today. Cheryl Miller is going to coach the WNBA All-Stars. Of course, they're going to be playing the WNBA All-Star game against the U.S. women's national women's basketball team this coming Saturday in Phoenix at the Footprint Center. And so Cheryl Reeve is the coach of the women's national team, and Cheryl Miller will coach the WNBA All-Stars, which will be a team that will include Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese and the like.
Best female basketball player of all time.
I will not. I won't.
I know
fight
you
on
agree. I'm
that.
talking to them out there.
I won't. Well, maybe that'll be one of our. Give me 3 more names, and we'll make that a question of the day tomorrow. We can do that. In fact, I don't think we wrapped up our question of the day from yesterday, which was about the worst national anthem ever before a sporting event. Was it Roseanne? Was it Carl Lewis? Was it Fergie, or was it Miss Ingrid Andress, who sang the national anthem a few nights ago? And at the end of the night, the winner for that was Roseanne, 39%.
Well deserved.
Over Ingrid Andress's 31%. Fergie, 15%. Carl Lewis, 15%. Let's give you your Desert Diamond Casino replay.
And now, the best thing you will hear all day.
Hachi-machi!
It's time for the Wildcat Radio Replay. In case you missed this earlier in the day, we now bring you the best of 1290. It's made possible by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
All right, the Open Championship starts tomorrow over in Great Britain. The British Open, the fourth of the majors. Tiger Woods, Carl Lewis, Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods will be present at the Open. It was Colin Montgomery had a few weeks ago or recently asked, why is Tiger Woods even playing in this event? Because he's not really playing golf very well anymore. Well, here's what Tiger Woods had to say in response to Colin Montgomery.
Well, as a past champion, I'm exempt till I'm 60. Colin's not. He's not a past champion, so he's not exempt. So he doesn't get the opportunity to make that decision. I do. So when I get to be at his age, I can still make that decision when he doesn't.
That was the Wildcat Radio Replay with the best of the best from 1290. It's brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
Lifetime exemption smack.
Exactly.
Smack talk.
I can play at this event until I'm 60, which I think was how old is Tiger? In his early 40s, mid 40s?
He's my exact age. He's late 40s.
He's actually getting close to the big question is going to be, is Tiger going to play on the Seniors Tour? That's what I think a lot of people want to know. I don't know if we'll ever see him do that.
Because everybody knows Tiger's greatest dream is to play a PGA Tour event with his son. That's going around these days. Come on.
You can play both. There's guys that play both, and he's exempt, so he can play in the Masters when Charlie gets to be that age.
It's like I read a couple days ago that I think it was Bill Gates has a gold McDonald's card. Basically, you can go anywhere McDonald's in the world and just get it for free.
All
how many people in the world can say I'm lifetime exempt from every major ever? That's not some smack talk that anybody can say. Only very few can say that.
All right, that wraps up our show for today. Thanks to Jalen Parks from the Sugar Skulls, Sly Lewis from Pueblo Football. For JW Madden and Cricket, my name is David Kelly. That is our time for tonight. Thank you very much for your time. We'll talk to you again tomorrow at 3 o'clock. DK on the Sports Tip. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290. Have a great night, everybody.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Roger Road closed east and west of Stone Avenue for a couple more days. Use Limberlost or Prince Road instead. Collisions, Golf Links, and Pantano Road. Sunrise Drive and Craycroft a hit and run. 15% chance of showers tonight and about 103 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. With Staples Hot Deals, you'll find super low prices on hundreds of items for back to school, including tech. Right now, get up to $500 off select PCs at Staples. Plus, save even more with the Easy Rewards program. Ends 9/14. For participating stores, visit staples.com/stores/school deals.
Look! Up in the sky! It's a bird! It's a plane! No, it's...
I'm Captain Tobacco from Tobacco Barn.
My tobacco hero.
I'm here to wipe out high prices on tobacco products. I'm also here to inform citizens that you could save up to 40% on your favorite tobacco products. Pay no city or state sales tax at Tobacco Barn and save up to another $3 with a coupon at tobaccobarntucson.com. Uh-oh, I see high prices. Excuse me.
Save up to 40% off all your tobacco products at Tobacco Barn. Tobacco Barn is on the Indian Reservation, so you're not paying state tax or any city sales tax. Plus, you can get a coupon for an additional $3 off at tobaccobarntucson.com.
Take it from Captain Tobacco. Save up to 40%. Save with no city or state sales tax. And save with a coupon at TobaccoBarnTucson.com. Well, time for me to fly.
Tobacco Barn, Nogales Highway just south of Valencia. Check TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
Wings y Mas, located at 1145 West Prince Road, isn't your typical chain wing restaurant. They're locally owned and operated so they can and do put the customer first. They have happy hour Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. with wing specials that go along with it. On Mondays, get half off 1 dozen wings, and Wednesdays, get 12 wings for just $12. Okay, it's obvious. They have wings. So what's the y Mas part? Y Mas are items like tostitos preparados, churro bites, and a family recipe salsa and chips that is a must. Check out their full menu on Instagram. Wings y Mas also has 6 TVs showing your favorite sports and all college and pro football games. Wings y Mas is your go-to spot for wings. Wings y Mas. We do wings.
And this Friday, we've got a sweet deal for you from Wings y Mas. You can get a $50 gift certificate for just $25. And this sweet deal will go on sale this Friday morning at 8:30 at WildcatsRadio1290.com.
The Summer Scorcher sales event is on at Royal Kia with hot savings on both electric and gas Kias. Go electric and save on a new Kia EV6 Light Long Range when you lease for $199 a month for 24 months with only $1125 due at signing. Or save when you finance the Kia EV6 for 1.99% APR for 72 months. Looking for a gas model? Lease the 25 Kia K5 sedan for $277 a month for 24 months with only $34.99 due at signing. See dealer for details. Leases $650 acquisition fee, no security deposit. Mileage charge of 20 cents per mile over 10,000 miles per year. All offers OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $529 doc fee. Must lease or finance with Kia Motors Finance. EV6 Light Long Range K29955, EV6 K29602, K5 K30372. Offers end 7/31/24. Hurry for the hottest savings now during the Summer Scorcher sales event at Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus, or royalkia.com.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel will help you start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks. Words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks, "How's your French going?" you can say,
Babbel facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue.
Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Serving in Vietnam, a grenade took my ability to see. I'm Michael Naranjo, and I'm a veteran. Today, I'm a sculptor. My fingers are my eyes.
DAV helps veterans like Michael get the benefits they've earned. They help more than 1 million veterans every year.
With DAV, more veterans can shape their lives into a thing of beauty. My victory is bringing beauty into the world.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
It's 4 a.m. and you're sucking baby snot through a tube because she's congested. If you love her that much, love her enough to make sure she's buckled in the right car seat. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We are the sports station that Tucson turns to for all the latest news when it comes to Arizona men's basketball, along with all the play-by-play action. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.